Earth.
Air.
Water.
Fire.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of a strange comet in the sky, members of all nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
My name is Bree, also known as PrettiPixel, and I am playing Shurva, a warrior from the Fire Nation.
I play Mako, a firebender from the Fire Nation.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Oki, a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
I'm Brandon, and I'm Rung Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hey, I'm Dave, and my character is Al, the airbender from the Air Nomads.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. Well, hello, and welcome back to the Lost Archives for our Avatar Legends campaign. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Say hello, all lovely players. You don't need to introduce yourselves and characters. We've already had a video do that. Hello!
Hola!
Lovely players.
Exactly. So, welcome back. I'm sorry there wasn't a session last week. Somebody was a massive wuss and couldn't handle having 4 teeth removed and just wasn't up to the challenge of running. It was me. I couldn't do it. Sorry. So I apologize for that in advance.
Bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah. I so our D&D stream on Wednesday also was a bit fun. We had some terrible internet issues as the whole east coast of Australia suffered from some like rolling blackouts and rolling data packet losses. And as we finished, sort of wrapped up because it wasn't really working. We finished the recording and then I went into the bathroom and I had like bits of dried blood in the side of my beard and I was like, yeah, okay, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. But I'm feeling much better now. It's most of the stitches have healed and come out, so I'm feeling a lot better. So we're back. We're playing more Avatar Legends. So we had a very interesting session last session. I think we should do a little bit of a recap, hey, to catch everybody up. And for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, first off, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is the story so far. Our story has been following Shurva and Mako of the Fire Nation, Rung of the Earth Kingdom, Oki of the Water Tribe, and Al of the Air Nomads. The children of important ambassadors of each of the four nations, they have been attending a historic summit at the Beifong estate just outside of Ba Sing Se. With the recent death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of a strange comet in the sky, omens of war and conflict seem numerous. After learning that plans and diagrams of the wall of Ba Sing Se had gone missing, Shurva and Mako headed back to the Fire Nation Ironclad, this massive metal steamship which had brought them to the Beifong estate. To discover a number of Fire Nation soldiers training, not just firebenders, but Fire Nation soldiers training with spears and swords. They quickly discovered that General Zhao had been behind the theft of these plans, and after a discussion with him, learned that the Fire Nation may be working counter to the preservation of peace. Upon rejoining the group for breakfast, Mako revealed these plans, which had been given to him by Zhao, and the group discussed the potential implications of what this theft and what these plans could mean. These discussions were, however, cut short by the arrival of several Dai Li agents who worked to quickly subdue and capture the group. Demonstrating some skilled bending, the team were able to evade and escape these kidnappers, burning the plans while doing so. However, this escape was short-lived. The Dai Li had placed a pitfall trap just outside the front doors, and only Al was able to evade using his airbending. After Rung attempted to earthbend out of this trap, the group quickly realized that the walls were made of metal. Feeling this metal box moving, the party took the opportunity for a short rest. Before too long, the box was shaken by a series of crashes and shouts of alarm sounded from outside. With a large ripping noise, the door was torn free, revealing an old man's grizzled face. Introducing himself as I, a lone sandbender wandering the Si Wong Desert, the stranger offered to give the group a ride to the Misty Palms Oasis on his sandship, taking pity on them being trapped so far out in the desert. However, a group of rival sandbenders had actually captured I's sandship, claiming it to be stolen property. The group, through some very skill bending, once again, were able to overcome these adversaries with some very clever and inventive tactics. I like how you guys are like nodding like, yeah, we're the best. You also got pretty lucky with your rolls as well. Skilled,
right?
The celebrations of capturing back the sand ship were short-lived, however, as the noise of this conflict had attracted the attention of an enormous sandworm, forcing the group to abandon the camp and head into the deep desert. Upon arrival at the Misty Palms Oasis, the group thanked I for his help and passed through the sandstone walls. I was, as our guest character, Haz, who joined us for the last session, taking on a sandbender character while Dave was away. And I've just realised that on the overlay,
He's
Dave,
still got
it's
the
not
same name.
it's not correct, even though I'd updated this. Let me just do.
Aye, Captain.
I
As
can be
you
Harrison
said,
for a
I
day.
just
don't know.
realized. I looked up and I was like, that is
I just
his name.
I had fixed these, but clearly I had not saved whatever changes I had made. So I will quickly fix these back. The only thing I've just noticed as well is that the overlay still has your name spelt incorrect. So I'm just going to quickly fix that, and we're good to go.
That was the original
great.
spelling, and it was just like a translation thing.
There we go. We're back.
Yeah,
Fuck me. Okay. Just going to wave my hands. This will all be cut for the podcast listeners. None of this will make it into the final. So,
Or vote to keep it. Up to you.
and cutting.
Find it on
now.
the podcast.
No, and cutting now. So, we finished last session with the rest of the group passing through into the Misty Palms Oasis, a massive sandstone wall town, essentially built around this solid ice crystal, built like it sort of grown in the very center of town, almost like a solid like iceberg in the middle of this town. This large steaming chunk of ice. It's getting dark as you head on through. You can see I in the distance boarding back onto his sand ship and taking that large metal cage that you had salvaged over around the side towards some beetle-headed merchants looking to try and sell the items that he'd been able to get. But we're not going to join in with you guys. We're actually going to quickly jump back in time a little bit to Al. Ooh, that's right. As you guys are fleeing from the Dai Li back inside the Beifong estate, at the last second, as you guys push through the doors, the ground drops underneath you. Your airbending training just kicking in at the last second as you pull open this puff of air that pushes you towards the side and avoids you being dropped in the hole. You can see 8 more of the Dai Li agents earthbending these walls of stone towards you with a sudden rush. You realize that your friends in this hole are beyond your help for the moment, and your only thought is of escape. As you pull your glider from your back, push the air underneath it, taking off into the sky, shards of stone begin flying towards you from the ground. I'm going to get you to rely on your skills and training to avoid your glider being damaged by these shards of rock being flung up from the ground towards you. Because you're
That's
relying
good,
on your...
because I believe I am very skilled.
You believe you are, yes.
I believe I am.
You believe you are, yeah.
I believe in you.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Sorry.
So you can just click on the skills and
Send
training in the
thoughts
character
and
sheet if you
prayers.
like.
What is the god in this universe?
Where is skills and training on the character sheet?
Oh, so what you can do,
Send me
I
a
can
hot man.
expand it for you. You ready?
Avatar speed.
I'll help you out because I'm a bloody legend. You ready?
Oh,
So if
this
we
is
go
what you
to-
guys were talking about last time in the...
Basic moves reference. Yeah. So just underneath your training, if you just go below
Yep.
that, can you see the reference sheets have dropped down? So there's just above your creativity,
Yep.
focus, harmony, passion. You can see plead, push your luck, rely on skills and
Ah,
training.
I just
and there's a
can't
little
read.
dice icon.
Yeah, I just
Game
can't,
changer, I
just,
know.
Yeah, it was there. I just can't read.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Cell.
I don't know what to say.
Like Al. I am.
Al can't read. That seems important information that needs to be in your backstory. Can Al
He
not
can
read?
He can read. He just doesn't
Okay.
like to.
I just need to know that information. That does change the way I have some things happen.
The button is not working. Can you give me what the...
Even if you click on it,
Yeah, even though I click on it.
let me have a go. And then you click submit.
Yeah, the pop-up's not popping up. That's probably why.
I rolled for you.
Yep, thank
You
you.
got a 9.
Yeah, I am very skilled. I can't use a character sheet,
Um,
but Al is skilled
Give
enough to...
give Roll20 a reload as well. It can sometimes
Yeah,
Roll20 can be a
I'll
little
do
bit of
that,
a bit tricky.
If you see a roll,
9,
it's
yeah.
just because I'm silly.
Mixed success. As you begin as you hear this, as this shard of stone flies up past your glider, you begin taking evasive maneuvers, bending the air around your glider to cause you to sort of do little spins, little barrel rolls every so often. But there is a shard of stone cuts through the inside of your leg, and you take a point of fatigue as it strikes through your leg, not damaging your glider, but damaging you. As you fly up and get a bit of space between you and the Earthbenders, they quickly realize, the Daily realize, that they're not going to be able to knock you out of the air from their position, and they turn their focus back on the captured teammates. You watch as they begin earthbending this large metal cage up from inside the ground, and as the top closes shut, you can hear the sounds of people banging on the inside. I think it's at this point Rung begins trying to earthbend it. You hear this sort of clanging noise as rocks are flung up against the side. And then one side of the cage begins to glow red hot, as you assume probably Mako is trying to firebend his way out of the hinge, trying to sort of melt the hinges. The Daily waste no time. They quickly load this on the back of a large wagon and begin heading immediately towards the southeast. You watch as they begin taking off, dragging this large cage with them. From your spot in the air, you can also see a large force of firebenders moving from the Ironclad towards the Beifong estate. Now my question is, what would you like to do? Do you want to try and follow the group who have been captured, look for an opportunity to contact them? Are you going to try and contact the other airbenders at the Beifong estate? Are you going to try and intercept the firebenders? Are you going to do none of those things and something that only you think of?
I think as one of my values is loyalty, I'm going to try and follow my friends and see if I can do an escape, help them do a breakout. So I would try to follow the boulder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As you gain a bit of height, you can see that this cage is being brought towards the edge of this massive expanse of desert. These rolling sand dunes as far as the eye can see. The ground before it cracks and breaks into this rocky, desolate wasteland. And you can see that the cart and the metal cage are heading towards this. After about an hour of flying, you are beginning to get quite tired. The constant use of your airbending to keep the glider aloft, having to focus and use the thermals when you can, is beginning to take its toll. And the cart shows no sign of slowing down. It has now reached the edge of the desert and is beginning to head through this narrow series of tracks between large crevices and rocks and breaks in the sand. From above, you can see that there is a large ship, almost like a catamaran with these two hulls on the sand, this large sail, speeding across the desert, almost looking like it's on an intercept course with the cart. A lone man, a long beard sort of blowing in the wind behind him, dressed in these brown and sandy coloured robes, at the helm, bending this whirlwind of sand in the very centre, pushing the sand ship along.
I guess I'm running out of stamina, right? So I have to land?
Yeah.
Okay. I take note as much of the detail of that sand ship as I can take, and I guess I land. It's still in the desert, you said, or just on the cusp? It's still
just on the edge of the desert. Yeah, it looks like they're just about to head into the desert. The Earthbenders look like they're in the process of taking your friends into the deep desert. So there's a series, because the ground is sort of fractured and cracked here. There is a bit of an outcropping of rock that is a little bit higher up, which gives you a bit of a view over the area. And as you land, you can still make out the cart in the distance. The sand ship seems to have pulled to a stop, and the cart as well seems to have stopped. But from this distance, you can't really see what's happening. Just these figures moving around the cart. They're just these dark figures moving around. You can't hear anything from this distance. And there seems to be people sort of moving around the cart. After a few moments, the metal cage begins being brought towards the sand ship. You can see that there are a number of figures moving this large metal cage towards the sand ship. A group of sandbenders on other sand ships appear to have arrived in the meantime, and you can see a pretty heated discussion, and then a fight breaks out between these figures and these new sandbenders as they begin fighting over whatever this is. Probably your friends in this cage. They're being fought over by these sandbenders. Before too long, the group who already had the cage are victorious, and the large metal cage is loaded onto the back of this sand ship. However, as you're sort of getting to the point where you think you might head on over and have a bit of a closer look, see if you can figure out what's happening, this massive worm rises from the desert, giant sandworm, destroying one of the sand ships and beaching itself on a section of rock. With that, the large sand ship takes off rapidly, trying to get away from this thing as quickly as it can. You can see it heading into the deep desert. By this point, you're sort of realizing you might need to take off if you're going to keep up with your friends. They are getting further and further away.
So I clocked the direction that the sand ship is heading.
Yep.
And I think to myself, so the sand ship, does it have sails, or is it literally just a boat that's...
Yeah, it has two sails positioned almost like forming a right angle in the front of the ship.
Al thinks this is the coolest thing ever. He doesn't think this through. He's going to try and get to that sand ship, and he's going to try and... he's going to wait to catch his breath and fly to that sand ship and try to steer into the direction that the other one was going.
Yeah. So the sand ship that's on the rocks is destroyed.
Okay.
It is the worm has completely destroyed it. You can see that whatever the worm took offense to, it has broken. As you get a little bit closer, you can see that the worm has done a pretty serious number on this area. There are two bodies not moving, blood slowly leaking into the sand of these sandbenders who look like they were crushed by the worm as it came down. As you're flying above, sort of surveying the broken sand ship. But yeah, it's apparent to you quite quickly that this is beyond your skill to fix. You would need a bit of assistance with this.
Okay, can I see which direction the worm went?
The worm has gone back under the sand and is now very hard to spot. But do you want to assess the situation for me and see what you can see?
I would like to, yes. And I refreshed roll 20. So let's do this. Come on. First try.
Hey.
What do we get?
Perfect. 10.
First
Looking
try.
perfect.
Nice.
As you begin sort of focusing, you can see that there is a trail of essentially like a wake in the sand. So like how a boat leaves a wake of water behind, there's almost like a wedge of sand, this dune that's been created where the sandworm has gone up to a certain point, and then you can see where the sandworm has basically dived deeper into the desert. Probably the bottom of the desert here is quite shallow. And then as it's gone into the deeper desert, the sand goes a lot further down, and so the worm's been able to dive a lot deeper. But you can see the worm it was tracking these guys for a little bit, following the sand ship due east, and then after a while appears to have either gotten bored, lost the scent, or lost the trail, and has then dived deeper in and gone a different direction.
Okay, so I don't see any of my friends. I don't see any rags or anything that would suggest any of my friends were hurt in this.
No red or blue or green cloth. Only this sort of sandy coloured, these sandy coloured robes, almost like Jedi robes in a way. The sandbender cloth. It's this beige sandy coloured clothing.
Cool. No, that's good. That's great to hear. I breathe a sigh of relief. And it's airbended, so it's especially loud.
Nice.
And so the worm went in a different direction from the ship.
Yes, yeah, it looks like the worm has definitely gone a different direction.
I'm going to do my best to try and glide as far as I can and gently land on the sand. And I'm just going to keep hopping like that because I'm low in energy, so I'm not going to go too high. And
it's pretty easy to follow the tracks of the sand ship. It has left these two grooves in the sand where the basically the pontoons, the hulls have been digging in. And you can see that the sand ship in the distance is getting further and further away, but you do your best to keep up with it as you can, occasionally sort of landing on the desert, taking a few big breaths, then getting back up. The good news is that out here in the desert, the heat rising from the sand is providing a bit of lift. And so you're not having to work as hard over the sand as you were over the rock. The thermals that are being generated are giving you a bit more, meaning you can spend a bit less energy to keep going. So you get to do these very long glides before having to sort of land, then do a massive push straight up, and then just letting yourself glide again as you come back down.
Al doesn't realize that this is that it's actually the heat from the sand. He thinks he's just this good, so he's overestimating his abilities, but he's gonna keep going.
Yeah, fair enough. Before too long, Al, the sun begins to set below the horizon behind you. It begins to get a little bit cold, a little bit dark, and the tracks of the sand ship are getting harder and harder to see. And just as you're beginning to lose any direction of where you need to head. You know the sun setting behind you is giving you west. You know it was heading east, but you begin to lose sight of the tracks. In the distance in front of you, you can see the lights of campfires, flames, torches. What looks like a small town in front of you. And as you begin to get closer, your energy just about running out, you can see there is an older grizzled sandbender negotiating with these merchants with these large hats shaped like beetles with this large metal cage. You can see that the door has been torn open and there is no one inside. Just as you sort of have this moment of, oh shit, where are they? Just through the gates, as you turn and look, you can see the four friends, Rung, Oki, Mako, and Shurva, just heading inside the gates, not having noticed you, just making their way inside the town.
I guess if they turn around and look, I'm not saying they have to, but if they did, they would see Sal like in tears, blubbering away. I just be like, I thought I lost everyone. And yeah, he's just like a lost child, seeing his mother running up to everyone as fast as he can, but like really tired. So I imagine he's like stumbling and just like dragging, falling on the sand. So he gets up, the sand all over him, sand in his tears on his face, and he's just run up to everyone. I found you guys. Oh, I mean, I found you guys. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Yeah, as you guys turn around, the familiar face of Al is there, looking haggard, slightly sunburnt. His cheeks have been burnt slightly red. You can see there are sunburns only on his face because his robes are quite heavy and quite all covering. But your hands as well, from holding the glider, the top of your fingers are burned from the sun as you've been flying all day through the desert. And yeah, you guys turn around, you can see Al standing there crying a bit, sort of blubbing, I think is the word you use. Like, blubbering a bit.
I don't see Al crying. I just hear him right before he's like, hey, as he composes himself and like, oh, you made it. I heard a young girl crying as she ran off in the distance, and I turned around and see you behind me. Why'd you get so much water on your face and sand? It's not good for you. Oki, get the sandy water from his face. This can't be good for our man. He's all burnt.
I guess Oki's glad to see Al too, and she's like, fuck it, why not? And she tries to clean him up and heal up some of the sunburn on top of his hands and whatnot, so he's less in pain.
And he's just like, so my eyes are red from the sunburn. I'm glad to see you.
Eyes.
He gives everyone a hug.
Welcome here, buddy. You're the tannest airbender I've ever seen in my life. You could join the earthbending tribe and turn like that. It's good to have you with us. The old man wasn't quite the same.
I'd like to walk up to Al and just like stand right up in his face and ask him very sternly, were you followed? How did you get here?
So I didn't look behind me. I walked a lot of the way and glided a lot of the way, but I would be surprised if someone followed me.
Very honest answer.
Did you walk here? There was an earthworm. Or a worm. Just a worm. Maybe it was just an earthworm. I don't know. Oh, there was a worm. Did you see the worm?
Well, it was a worm from the Earth Kingdom, so I imagine it is an earthworm or some sort of worm of the Earth.
That would make sense. I haven't seen an airworm before. Good.
We have them in our fairy tale.
There's anyone to follow him to be eaten by the earthworm, the powerful Earth Kingdom earthworm.
Well,
That's unlike our other friend.
I came up to where the ship broke, and the earthworm went that way, and you guys went that way. So I just followed.
Did you see Pong anywhere?
Was Palm with you?
No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I don't remember any happy, bright, sunny human being around us at any time. No. Who?
No. All I saw was two sandbenders or nomads, or they looked pretty messed up.
Were they still alive, like when you left?
Any red?
Al has a hot flush on top of his sunburn when he realizes he didn't even check if they were alive or not in the
I took note of that, don't worry.
They didn't
Take that as a yes.
I'll take that as they were.
They weren't eaten. Like their bodies were
Anyway.
still there. So
They were so sleepy.
There we are.
Oh, that's
It's
hopeful.
just
Good.
they appear to have been very fatigued.
I can tell
We
you
all
they
know
didn't
that-
follow me.
We all know that earthworms don't eat corpses. I think I heard once. So that must be good.
Several points worth of fatigue.
Wait. Well, the main thing is we're all here okay, and we got a ship, a sand
have a ship?
boat, a sand boat. It's kind of like a ship, but with sand.
Let's
Can we use
call it
it?
a ship.
Kind
Well,
of.
he does like Rung sort of like just like moves some sand a little bit, like airbending, like just cause like a little bit of a bit of sand to go. He's like, yes, we can move it. We can traverse these lands. Definitely, with your help.
I think every ship needs a name. Let's
The
find
Nebuchadnezzar.
a ship.
No.
Well, I really need water and food would be nice. Have you guys found anywhere that we can like drink water and rest and think of a name for our ship?
Well, I think there was was there like a tavern or an inn?
Yeah,
behind us?
there's a
Oki.
couple.
You know more about water and places. I'm lost.
The
Hey man, me.
There's
town
some
you
really
walked
good
into.
cacti that you can just bite into. They're really good for you.
Very
Sheva says
crunching, I
this. Are there any nearby? Ang looks around. Al looks
Yeah,
around.
I saw some. I saw
There are
one not
many
far away.
different species of cactus in the desert. You can see there's a couple of different types of cactus. There's some very low, round, circular ones. There's a few tall, like Arievo cactuses. Yeah, cacti. Yeah, there's a few different species nearby.
Just bite one and see what happens. One of them's good for you. I don't remember which one.
One of them might be
Too
poisonous.
wisely. If you can see, he chose poorly.
Al looks at it and he's like, I guess it kind of looks like a cabbage. And he looks for the one that looks most like a cabbage and he goes for that one, I guess. And
The
It's
round one on
vegetarian.
the round one. Yeah. I mean, it's
I'll
covered in
find a
spikes.
pointy
How you going about this,
cabbage.
Al?
it is covered in spikes.
This is an
Um,
awful idea.
You can see that
I'll-
the cactus has about like 10 centimeter long spikes. These dark black spikes all over it. Not fluffy, like heavy duty spikes.
Let me protect her. Do not do this to yourself. Be character building. You need
I'll try
water, hydrolyte.
Al tries to like, with his foot and shoe, like tries to like dislodge it from the ground.
Yeah, push your luck for me, please, Al.
Pretty sure I've seen a picture on the internet of this once, and it's not pretty.
I've been rolling
yep.
well.
Yep.
Under the toe now.
That is a 4.
That's a 4.
So I have a -1 to passion.
Yep. So as you go to do this, one of the spikes just goes straight through your cloth shoes and into your toe. It is quite painful. As you pull it out, you are going to mark a condition for me. You are embarrassed, I think is the appropriate. Or foolish? Maybe foolish.
It's foolish, yeah.
I think foolish, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the most appropriate condition, in all honesty.
I think Al like pretends to be tying his shoelace and pulls the prickle out, and he turns back to the others and it's just like, no, I think we should go to one of those watering holes.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a whole body shiver just picturing that in my head. It's like a full,
Oh, yeah, no.
full body recoil from imagining that.
It actually went underneath the
Yeah.
nail.
Oh,
You're welcome.
No, stop. Stop.
Sorry,
The nail's
listeners.
actually just like floating around in his shoe now, like it fully dislodged it.
It was already loose from the day's travel.
Yeah. As it's like a pivot as it goes
Stop.
underneath the
Stop.
and you watch as it flies
Stop.
back out as he pulls it out. And it flies towards Mako and like lands at night.
It's
as
all
Al
30
walks
minutes,
backwards-
somewhat eye twitching.
As Al walks back to the others, he tries to airbend to soften the step that he's Got his toe on, he's slightly limping.
Every time Al steps down, this puff of air pushes sand away, and it just goes up everyone's pants as he does it every single time.
Al pretends like it's not there.
That's like
Can I help him
riding
out
in an
with this?
elevator.
Yeah. You can just pull a bit of water from your water bending flask and just hold it against your toe quickly. Just do a little bit of healing to fix that up.
I'll get the rest of them when we sit down and make it to the place that we're going to.
Well, I think there was a watering hole of some sort behind us. As he turns around and looks at like the ice cube, like no, not that one. And was there like a big pub or something behind us before? I think
There's a
from
few, yeah.
last time?
As you
There's
walk
a few?
into town, you can see there's a couple of different locations. There's a few which look to be more like cafes for the daytime, which are closed currently. There's a few locations which look like inns. There's a very big bar that's called the Misty Palms Oasis fruit bar, which does seem to be open. And there's a group of Earthbenders and Earth Kingdom citizens who are sitting outside, enjoying the cool night air of the desert, sipping on these large, basically these large cups of ice carved, which are filled with this sort of fruit pulp drink that they're enjoying with straws and eating with
Is
little
it
umbrellas
cactus
on them as
juice?
well. What was that? Sorry, Shurva?
Is it cactus juice?
You don't know.
I do want. Well, that looks like a great place to cool off.
Like
Not
how we're
that we need to
exploring the
cool up right
wonderful
now.
world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and everyone's just like, "How do we get high?"
Hi.
Yeah, like I know, I'm like connecting with the childlike wonder of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but how can I get high?
I'm not
quickly can I
trying to get
corrupt it?
high. I'm trying to get all high because it's funnier.
Only you brought
Always wanted
Pum
to get a
with you.
minor high.
He reminds me of like a 8-year-old child with like ADHD.
And you would want to get one of them high?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Oh
Sounds like
boy.
an awful.
Yeah, this is getting cut. It's amazing as the person who edits these videos when I can literally hear the sound of myself, my future self, just going, yes.
Yeah, no.
Out of
Jay.
curiosity though, is
Yeah.
Oki able to heal sunburns as well?
Oki can rely on her skills and training to have a go at healing sunburns.
Because like I'm not sure how water bending healing works. Like, is it just any?
Yeah,
Like,
so neither are the creators
abrasive?
of neither of the creators of this this system. It's not waterbending healing is not a thing that is included. It's not part of the thing. We're making these rules up as we go along because it's still in early access.
Fair
So
enough.
the way that we've been ruling it is that essentially when Oki's doing that, she is essentially doing a comfort and support style move. So she's using her waterbending to do comfort or support, which is essentially trying to help, trying to assist somebody and help get rid of fatigue and things like that. So she can use it to clear condition or to help someone lose to fatigue, but she's going to be doing some rolls if it's anything serious. So to do that larger effect, she's going to have to do like a comfort or support roll, which will be a harmony roll, I believe. Yes. And then the person who's being healed has to consent to the healing,
Very good.
like with the normal comfort and support. That's how I'm ruling it. Probably there'll be some supplement guide in the final version when it comes out, but for the moment, that's how we're gonna go with it.
Cool. Okay,
Like
nice one
this.
to know.
They're
Alright.
trailblazers.
Shall
That's it.
we eat and be merry?
Yes. Let's go. Well, how much coin did we pick up as
I was
well, by the
gonna
way?
say-
Because I wrote down.
Yeah.
I have like $6, so not expensive. I hope.
I think we each have
We
6
each have
coins.
6.
And Al has nothing
Oh,
because he's never.
Ooh,
We
we
don't believe in
show
money.
you.
Possessions. Yeah.
that's okay. You can pick up a cactus and eat it off the ground.
Do not do that. Okay, I would like to go up to like. I like
I
to
keep
go up
forgetting
there.
you're his guardian as well. Like,
Do
you
not
were
keep
trying
the
to keep him safe.
I'm trying.
More
I'm
like
good at
partner in
it.
crime.
Yeah, more like two people making dumb decisions together.
Blind leading the blinds.
Alright, I will shout you, buddy. Let's go get this. I walk up to the counter. I'm like, how much one of those fruit drinks for me and my friends? Probably one each.
Yeah, I'll describe the room as you step in as well. I'll give you the full description of the place as you walk in. And let's get some new music playing too. Slightly more exciting music playing. Yeah, as you step into the bar, you can see, or I should say the juice bar. You can see a number of Earth Kingdom citizens. It looks like quite a mixed group, mostly sort of middle tier wealth or middle tier in the social hierarchy, because the Earth Kingdom is very structured in their social hierarchy rung, which you would know. Especially the citizens of Ba Sing Se. There is an inner city and an outer city, and there are quite distinct differences between the people who live in each area. There's a pretty structured social hierarchy. But this place seems to be one of those locations that kind of breaks those barriers down a bit. You can see there's a couple of definitely richer merchants who are all sort of chatting quite openly at a little circular table inside. The bar is very long. There's piles and piles of fruit all along the back counter. All sorts of fruit you can see. Oranges, apples, dragon fruit, bananas, kiwi fruit, like any sort of random fruit that you can imagine is here. Some pomegranates hanging from a section up the top. And then along the side of the bar are these massive chunks of ice, which are very slowly melting. And the bartender is this slightly, is sort of a younger man with a chin strap beard and a chin strap moustache, very sort of carefully groomed, with two massive swords on his back, these two massively long katanas, which he has on his back. And as you enter in, you can see that the bar doesn't sort of turn and look at you. There's no sort of moment of like, who are these intruders? This is a very popular destination. There's a couple of other people from different nations here. You can see, Oki, you would see a few members of probably the Southern Water Tribe, judging from how they're dressed, who are sitting with a sandbender, probably their guide across the desert. And they seem to be chatting about some of the dangers they face during the day. And the sandbender's talking through some advice on how to avoid issues like the sunburn with the clothing. He's going, look, you really need to think about removing some of those furs. You're going to get quite hot. Can we talk about this? Maybe some silks or something? I could purchase something in the morning. They go, no, we're fine. This is perfect. This is our. We're not buying new clothes just across the desert. Don't be ridiculous, man. Wrong. As you step up and approach the bartender, he's just finishing serving a customer, a young girl, probably from one of the outer Earth Kingdom cities, who's there with her parents, and he sort of hands down this ice bowl of fruit juice. She takes it and goes, "Thanks so much, mister." Begins sort of walking off, and he goes, "Not a problem. Hello there. What can I get you?"
Hello there. I'm new into town. These drinks you're selling look delicious. Me and my friends need something to cool off a little bit. We're just wondering, how much are they for your fantastic frosty drinks?
Well, let me be the first to welcome you to the Misty Palms Oasis, center of culture and refinement of the Si Wong Desert. Welcome. Quite an eclectic group you've got there. Seeing Air Nomad, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation. Oh, don't tell me, lass.
Still wearing like broken pieces of like.
Yeah, like sections of sand, but you can still see underneath quite clearly. You're like, it's just that you're wearing like.
I'm just
sections
thinking
of
like how
sack.
weird that looks.
Yeah, super weird. If you wanted to ditch them before you came into town, let me know. We could have had that be retconned and removed.
Nah.
Wouldn't Al have like?
funnier.
Does Al have like an arrow or anything like that? Does he have like some sort of like?
Al has an
airbender?
Al has an arrow. Yeah. Al has the tats. Al has the full tats. He is a full airbender.
Blue.
And don't tell me, miss. Northern Water Tribe.
Yeah, you are good. How do you know that?
We see all types here. Fruit drinks, well, it depends on what you're after. Depends on the sort of flavor I can offer for you. But generally, just your standard fruit drink in an ice bowl. Set you back, say 50 cents, eh? 50 bronze.
Ooh, that sounds like a bargain. Well, I'll grab one for me and my tattered up friend here, and something earthbendery, something with rock, like rock melon, and
He gives it
don't
a
know
bit of
any
chuckle
other
at that.
fruits with a name like rock.
We've got some nice
Stone
boulder
fruits.
peaches I can offer as well. Something tough and manly, hey?
Stone fruit, yes.
Yeah,
That's quite
exactly.
a good
You
one
got
to do,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
Put up there.
Yeah, I can do
Yes,
something
that'd be
like
brilliant.
that. And what about the rest of you? Can I get you anything as well?
Sorry, what color coins do we have?
So you've got gold. So there's 10 bronze to a silver, 10 silver to a gold.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's the same as it's where guys, as currency goes, we're dealing in multiples of 10. You're gonna be okay as long as you can divide by 10 and multiply by 10.
No, I can't. That's the problem.
This is like learning Bitcoin. This is impossible.
So
One
gold
Earth
piece,
coin
one gold piece is
is-
worth 10
okay,
silver or 100 bronze. So to buy a drink for one person, it's going to cost half a gold.
Is this
Like
is
two
this
drinks.
Earth?
Yeah.
This is
Joking. 50 runs.
Earth coins,
Yeah.
6.
So if
Wait,
you wanted
didn't
to
you
buy
say that it was
two-
50 silver?
I give him $1.
No, so
for the
50
two
bronze.
drinks.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
50
got
bronze.
ya.
So if you give him one
Yeah.
gold piece, he will give you 2 drinks.
Well,
Okay.
we're around a bunch from all different types, and we're still figuring out the whole map thing. Kind of skipped down to that a little bit in school.
Right.
I think it seems fair.
Do you have anything spicy?
Anything spicy? Yeah. Oh, you betcha. Yeah. We get Fire Nation here. What do you take this for? As I said, cultural home of the desert. We get all sorts coming through here.
Can I get 2 spicy drinks? One for me and one for my friend here.
Absolutely. You chuck over a gold piece. He'll make those 2 spicy drinks. So Rung, you've paid for you and Arl. Shurva, you've paid for you and Mako. Okay. You've turned into Shrek.
Oh my
For podcast listeners.
I'm so sorry!
Bree has a little video filter,
You
and
pressed 5, didn't you?
Shurva is Shrek. That's the only thing I can take away from that. So Oki, no one has paid for your drink. You're just like
Bold
the
of
other
you
two
to
awkwardly.
assume that I paid for Mako and not for Oki.
Do you want to pay for Oki as well?
Oh!
Because you did just say I want 2 spicy, one for me and one for my friend, and pointed to Mako. So,
What if
Maybe
I feel like that was a fair
Oki
assumption.
likes spicy drinks.
okay, that's fine.
She has to now.
I'm kidding.
It's all good. I have a bit of a different question.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere to stay the night here? Or like, are there? Like,
Yeah, we've got
beds
some
here?
we've got
So
some
how
rooms
does it
upstairs.
work?
We've got a dormitory for traveling students. You wanted to?
Sweet. How much does that a night?
It's only a silver a night.
Oh, sweet.
Includes
awesome.
breakfast in the morning.
And where?
In that case, get me one of those awesome ass fruity looking drinks.
You betcha.
And I was
You guys are happy to share for the evening, right? Like
Yeah,
share the
maybe.
dormitory. Like it's
Oh,
it seats 12.
more than one
We've
bed?
got- yeah, no, more than one bed. It's not just one massive bed. No,
So
Oh.
is it 1 silver for
That'd be
all
fine
of
still.
us?
it's one big room with 12 beds in it. There's 2 people
that-
staying already.
What do
that-
they look like? Shifty? Are they nice? What are they studying?
They look like earthbending students. I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right, they're cool. All right.
Hang.
Should I go tell them that there are some shifty people potentially going to be sharing the room with them?
Yes.
I pass him. I pass him the 5 silver.
I would
by the way.
have to test.
Great, thank you.
Also,
Also,
what's with all the ice around here? The place in the desert seems to be a lot of melting ice. Is that the
Well.
Oasis?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Tell you what, take a seat. I'll prepare your drinks. If the bar's a little bit quiet later, I'll come sit down. I can take you through the tale.
that
Okay.
sounds cool.
Intrigue.
Alrighty.
Before you
That's-
go,
Wait.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask, can you point me in the direction of somewhere where we can buy some appropriate desert attire and maybe give me an idea of how much it should cost so that we don't get completely ripped off?
Good idea. It depends
Thought
who
you
you
were
want
gonna
to
ask
talk
about
to.
katanas.
Cool as shit, I know. Look, there are a couple of places you can go to during the day. You can head to the Desert Haberdashery. They don't just do hats; they do a lot of other things as well. But the Desert Haberdashery, they started in hats. If you want to get a cheaper deal, you can try the Beetle-Headed Merchants. They're open 24/7, as long as they're willing to. As long as you've got coin, they're willing to trade. But I'd be ready to barter if you're going to be dealing with them.
How much are we usually looking to barter? Like, are we sort of talking about like?
It depends what you're after.
50% or-
You're after just like an overcoat. You're looking for like a full outfit. You're looking for some sort of like
somewhere in between.
somewhere in
We
between.
stick
Okay,
out like sore thumbs.
you do, yeah, absolutely. But that's not a bad thing. This is, as I said, cultural hub of the desert. All sorts come through here. You're not going to stand out that much, trust me. We've got some waterbenders over there. Points over in the corner. Got some earthbenders. I mean, it's the Earth Kingdom, so there's always going to be earthbenders, eh? We got some. We had some Fire Nation soldiers through only a couple of nights ago. Are you with them? You look pretty military looking.
We're not. But
Okay.
can you tell me where they were heading?
Yeah. They were heading deeper into the desert. Not quite sure where. Something about Buzzard Rock.
Sounds like a healthy place to go. Place
Oh,
Oasis found it.
Yeah, Buzzard
Sounds like another
Hornets.
Oasis.
Yeah.
Buzzard
Yeah,
Are
Buzzard
we
Hornets.
talking like big birds with hornet-like appendages?
Yes. Yeah,
Sting.
yeah, about as bad as you can imagine. How they
Really?
destroy and eat their prey is they sting them and inject them with a solvent that basically melts their insides, and they wait until the insides have turned to soup, and like the skin works as this flesh bag, and then they've got these little proboscis. They just pierce the skin like a straw, and as he does that, he sort of like swings down with his sword, chops a section of ice, flicks over, carves it into a bowl, and chucks a straw in it, and then mimes sucking on the straw. Yeah, you gotta look out for them. As he pulls his other sword out, he swings it across, cutting a whole series of fruits, almost like Fruit Ninja. As he flicks it up into the air, begins slicing and dicing in midair before his swords come smashing down, and then push the fruit into the bowl. Pushes over towards you, Shurva. There you go, miss. I just say
Thanks.
Bet
stand
you're
back.
hungry now. It's
Drink
like
up.
they turn you into Luke pre-sun. Brilliant. Yum yum yum.
Oh, that's actually the name of the drink I was serving your airbender friend. A Si
Ooh,
Wong
that
Sun.
looks good.
Yeah. A Si
Later.
Wong Sunrise,
Si
really.
Wong.
Yeah.
So good. Well, it seems like a great place to avoid, by all accounts.
It's a terrible place.
It's,
Although the reason people might be interested, compasses in the desert. You might have noticed if you've been checking your compasses, north doesn't really point north in here. That rock where they inhabit, it's a giant magnet, piece of star iron that's fallen from the sky. And, yeah, I mean, we get all sorts coming through trying to take chips off it and things like that. And those who survive do come back and are able to sell those fragments for a pretty penny, but yeah, it's dangerous work. You got to be pretty desperate to go and get your iron from there, star iron. Lodestone.
How good
That's
is
what they
this
called it.
star
A
iron?
lodestone.
Lodestone.
Lodestone,
Well, that
yeah.
sounds interesting. It's like I usually do of coal, so it's kind of close to iron. But would you rate like iron like maybe like a B, and then like star iron like an A, or would you say like it's more like a slightly higher B, not quite
Star
an A?
iron's
Is it
mysterious
good?
stuff. You hear all sorts of stories about it. Say it can push and pull other metal, like a magnet essentially. It's black when it's
How do they
worked,
work?
but it has to be put at a really high temperature. And I've heard of a swordsman from the Fire Nation who has a sword of star iron with these ripples of silver through it. One of the stories we tell around the campfire at night here. He came through only a few years ago, or so they say. Thing with his hands.
Imagine all the things that person could thief with a big sword of star iron. You could just walk
Yeah.
past coins and collect them. Ooh, incredible power.
Well,
Too much for one person
he's
to handle.
a hero. He hunts bandits in the desert.
So that's
Well,
how it
everywhere. He just happened to hunt a bandit in the desert that time.
This story about this, one stopped a bandit once. My hero.
When you ask
I
an
really stopped him.
earthbender when you ask an earthbender to tell stories, you get what you ask for.
I'm down.
As you guys are sort of chatting, he whips his swords around again and begins carving out another section of ice into a bowl and begins cutting up more fruit. This time, adding in less of the spices, looking to do sort of more of the stone fruits. And then he pushes these over towards Rung and Arl. Mako, sorry, when he pushed one to Shurva, he did push one to you too. He made yours as the same batch. He sort of stops and looks at you, Oki. Goes, citrus, but not too sour. Am I right?
I'm happy with whatever's going.
Done. I've got some slightly old bananas. You don't mind if I use them up? I'm kidding. It's all fresh fruit. And he begins sort of carving away before he passes over a bowl to you. Please, sit down. I've got some more customers I need to serve, but if you want to ask me any questions later on, when it gets closer to closing, we can have a bit of a chat before I tuck you lot into bed. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna. I'm not obviously. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And I was
Daddy?
kidding to be excited. All right, so we'll go sit down. What's your name? Sorry.
Ah,
I'm
you can call me
forgetful.
Tal.
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 Tal. All right. Good.
All right,
My
well,
full-
we
my
should go
full
find
name
some bit of
is-
shit.
Yeah, no, please. Go have a sit down.
Tal, you mentioned some old fruit. Do you have any old fruit we can just have? Any old produce that you can't use? I'm very hungry.
Are you, mate? Just buy some dinner. What can I get you? What do you want?
Well, us air nomads don't carry coins.
Oh, I've got you. I got you, bud.
When you like old fruit in the bin out back, maybe.
That's how we live in the air
Menting in a
nomads.
barrel.
We live off the land.
Mate, there's not much to eat out here. That's why there's not many air people out here. There's not much to consume off the land. I mean, you can go and eat sand if you want, but
I wouldn't recommend it.
no, I don't
Yeah,
recommend
okay.
it. Wait, Waterbender, you're gonna help your friend out? Well, look,
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
what, look,
I
tell you what. How about this, hey? How about this? I can see you lot are young, first time traveling, correct?
Yeah.
Don't look like you've got a lot of supplies on you. Why don't I go and see what I can find out back? We'll include it in the price of your rooms and brekkie. How about that, eh?
Sounds great.
Al's eyes go
Thank
wide.
you.
Look, one good deed deserves another, and as I said, cultural hub of the desert. See what we can help you out with.
Absolute
Thank you so much,
lifesaver.
Tal.
Not a problem at all. Just make sure you pay it forward. If you find anyone in the desert who needs help, pass it
Will
on.
do.
We look out for each other out here,
Yep.
ourselves and each other.
Yes, always.
Leave no man behind. It's no worse
Not
fate
a-
than being taken by one of the worms, dying of thirst in the deep desert.
I can't
Imagine.
imagine that. That would be terrible.
No,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and you would never have to. You would only ever have to imagine it. We should sit down.
all lives are sacred. Bye.
My son's out there sand bending right now. He's been heading over towards the near the Beifong. No, he doesn't say that. I'm kidding. I'm
Must
kidding.
be a proud father.
Time.
I'm kidding. He doesn't say that.
Must be proud
Um,
father. I think that's what it's called.
No.
Say
Don't.
someone does get chomped by one of those sandworms. What
Yeah.
happens? Do they just like, yeah, boo, dead? Or is
No,
it
sometimes
like,
they survive. The sandworms. Sometimes they survive. The sandworms aren't so great at eating organic matter. It's a bit of a strange one. We're not really sure what they eat. They certainly don't drink. Water's actually quite lethal to them. But we're not really sure what they eat. Occasionally, people will come. How to put this delicately? So you know how the worm's got a mouth, right? There's another end. At the other
I
end of
do
the
now.
that stuff comes out of, and stuff that the worm can't digest comes out too. So, I mean, I've heard stories of people who've been on their sand ships. Worms taken the whole sand ship, whole thing. Can't digest the organic wood, right? It's just come out the other end with the sandbender, the poor sap, who's gone through this thing, clinging to the wood on the outside. Burns from the acid down their back, abrasions from the sand, but still alive. You hear tales. It happens.
That's cool. That sounds, I wouldn't want to do it, and I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone else. But cool.
They're traumatized, though. Let me get that straight. They are not the same. Like, they wish they were dead when they come out the other end.
I'll let you get to your other customers now.
It takes 2 days to pass through a worm's intestinal system.
All right,
They
got
have
2
to-
days to get out of the desert, friends.
The last person I heard had to drink their own piss to get out. Not to get out, but to survive getting out, because obviously they didn't have any water with them.
Bear
Sounds like an
Grylls?
intimidation tactic.
Yeah,
You're about to be
that-
eaten by a
oh,
worm. You
similar
drink
to
your
that.
pee in front of it. It's just
Rare something. Rare bills, maybe. Yeah.
Rare Bills, the great,
Yeah.
the great Earthbender. Yes, Rare Bills.
No, he's an air nomad, mate. Yeah.
Just trying to picture it.
Yeah.
Here he flies around to different areas of the world. From
Yeah.
what my father told me.
Yeah,
Goes
he
around
just
drinking
drops
his
in
pee
from the
different
sky.
nations.
Yeah, he just drops in on his paraglider.
Oh,
Eating
you mean-
the animals. He's a bit weird like that.
You mean Monk Brilsey, as we call him? He's a strange one.
Monk Grillsy, yeah, that does sound correct now that you say it out loud. Look, I've got more customers. I'll leave you to it. We'll have a chat afterwards, eh?
Right. Let's call the ornament, yes. Right, guys, so what we need to do, we need to collect all of our pee right now to make sure that the worms don't get us on the way back. Now, I'm going to drink
Oh my
all my
God.
drink, and I'm going to hold it into the very end. Now, we need a bottle.
I don't think that's how it works. Okay, just full heads up.
Oki, can you, like, store this in your satchel?
I don't think we need to do this. Yeah.
He said it himself.
Yeah,
It stops
fire, pee.
Tal said it
man.
himself. It protects you from the worms.
I'm pleased we're not
It's not
playing
quite
a
what
serious
he was
campaign.
saying.
I think you took a different meaning out of that.
Pretty sure I got the gist of it.
Wrong gist. Wrong gist.
Alright, let's go find a table maybe, and do we want to sit by ourselves or do we want to sit by other people?
Well, my
at a
question
table?
is inside or outside? There are tables inside, there are tables outside. The heat of the day has left. It's now quite cool and quite pleasant outside. Inside's still a little bit warm. The heat hasn't fully left the building yet.
How
Outside
many
has a
people
nice
are
little
inside?
cool. Roughly sort of 15, 16 people in 4 different groups. So there's the waterbenders and their sandbender guy. There's a couple of sandbenders with their sort of still their robes wrapped around their faces, keeping themselves quite hidden, not really revealing too much of their skin, with those slit sunglasses on, who seem to be having a bit of discussion about something. You can hear the jangling of coins, and there's some goods being sort of passed surreptitiously under the table. There's a family of earthbenders. You can tell they're earthbenders because 2 of the kids are earthbending rocks at each other across the table, and the dad is intermittently having to like slam his hand down and grind them to dust, like crush the rock into sand so that the kids aren't disrupting other tables. Because occasionally you see a rock just go fly over and smash into behind the bar, and the bartender goes, "What the fuck was that? What was that?"
It's been my imagination.
Yeah, it must have. Yeah, that's it. It's like Skyrim NPC. Must have been the wind.
I like that group. They seem like a good group of people. Would you guys want to sit next to the rock smashers, or should we sit
And outside,
and
there's only 6 people outside, and a number of tables are free outside.
I'm feeling outside. I feel like we haven't spent enough time outdoors today. Nice cool breeze. What does everyone
Cool
think?
breeze? I'm down for a nice cool breeze.
Yeah.
I think we should
always.
definitely go sit outside, somewhere preferably away from people.
Yeah, we need to discuss what we're gonna do now, I guess. How we're gonna provision, how we're gonna make sure we're not gonna die in this godforsaken desert.
Cultural hub of the desert. You
Boy,
hear from the bar.
he keeps saying that. I'm starting to get suspicious about this whole cultural hub thing. You guys don't think it could be bad being a cultural hub, could you? Like, why would he keep saying it otherwise?
Just
He
he's
could be
trying
in
to
slave labor.
he's trying to make the cultural hub happen.
Are we going to be cultural? I'm saying cultural hub. It's not going to become a thing.
Now we're referring to it as the cultural hub.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
a bad
he's
thing.
succeeded. You've in the last like 10 seconds alone, each of you has referred to it as a cultural hub. So I mean, from his perspective, he's like, yes, it's catching on.
What was the last town you're in? Oh, we're in the cultural hub of the desert. Oh no, damn it. Where were we? That's not on any map.
Last time on the Lost Archives, in the cultural hub of the desert.
Yes.
He only likes us because we're multiracial.
Oh,
Oh,
right. Oh, damn. He needs like some like good like PR for like the
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess you
I'll
sit
be-
by the
I'll be
front.
Tal likes you
photo.
because you're paying customers. That's what Tal likes.
Yeah.
Tal likes that you have come to his establishment, you have said what you want, and you have handed him coin.
Yep.
Tal's happy, and you didn't try to haggle. You just, as soon as he said a price, you were like, yeah, okay, and passed over the money. Tal's like, great. Tal likes you
Damn
guys.
it, that was an option.
You're fantastic. Tal loves you.
If we're standing while we're discussing this, I'll just start slowly limping outside with his drink.
Yeah.
And sits down at the table.
Yeah.
Do you have
the
like a
tables
cane or anything like that, or like your umbrella thing you can fly on? Just like use that as like
His staff,
like
his
a-
umbrella
The
thing.
umbrella thing you can fly on.
His staff glider. Is that what you're referring to?
I didn't know we were playing with Mary Poppins.
I think Tal might have served you cactus juice by accident. Mary Poppins, y'all. No, as you head outside, you can see the tables have clearly been earthbent. The sides of the walls of the establishment have been earthbended out to create these stone bench tops, and then seats have been pulled up and condensed from sand in the desert. And the seats have a bit of a give to them. As you sort of sit down, the sand shifts and moves ever so slightly. It's actually quite comfortable to sit on. They're almost like almost like a waterbed design where the borders are just keeping the sand in, and then as you sit down, you sink a little bit into the sand. It's quite comfy. And you sit down, begin sipping your drink.
Al is very dehydrated because it's been like a whole day of like gliding in the desert, right? So
yeah,
he's just taking slow sips and just staring off 1,000-yard stare, just off into the desert.
Yeah, there's only sort of only through the entrance to the town can you see the desert, and as night has fully hit, the moon is high above this sort of half crescent moon. You can see that 2 guards, these Earth Nation soldiers, Earth Kingdom soldiers, begin closing these massive wooden doors and then slam down this crossbar, sealing the oasis in.
Like the front gate, or like
Yep,
like a
the front
dome
gate.
over the top.
Yep.
Front gate.
No, it's not a dome over the top. It's still just sandstone walls that are roughly sort of 8 meters high, and they have closed these large wooden doors at the front and appear to be keeping guard.
They're sealing like the roof. I'll be much more concerned about those buzzard things.
You see a whole bunch of Dai just melt out of the shadows and begin like sealing a dome over the top. No.
What are they doing here?
Oh, I'm in danger.
Mako, you have some plans we need.
No.
Yeah. So
Alright,
you
well-
sit down. It's quite nice, quite pleasant.
I'll also go sit down with Al.
Yeah, we'll
And I'll
go
ask
join
him how
Al.
he's feeling.
Yeah, go please.
Al, without looking at, like, still staring off in the distance, he's like, I think there was something I needed to tell you guys. Has another sip. He's thinking really hard. You can see his tattoo just like it almost looks 2 millimeters shorter because it's like frowning. And
Wouldn't it be longer because you're frowning? It like stretches it down.
oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, he can't see himself, so yeah.
Wait,
That
what?
sounds like a Jaden Smith quote.
I make the observation that your arrow is now 2 millimeters longer.
Can't see myself. Yes, definitely my arrow got longer.
That genuinely, if I can't see myself, is my arrow shorter or longer? That does sound like a Jaden Smith tweet, if we're being honest. Sorry, Jaden.
As
But you
he
have some
thinks
weird
about
fucking tweets, man.
he does have some weird tweets. As he's contemplating the length of his arrow, he realizes, hey guys, why would I have seen Fire Nation soldiers approaching Ba Sing Se when I was leaving?
Approaching the Beifong estate.
Sorry, approaching the Beifong estate as I was leaving.
Look, it's not good news.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no good
That's
news.
There is good news.
Yeah,
There is
there's
good
fake
news.
news.
Did you say there was good news?
Monkey
When?
Etsu says there's only neutral news.
Oh, that's not true at all. That's not true at all.
And as you think back, you remember that Monkey
news.
Outso's lesson wasn't that there's no neutral news. It's just there is only neutral response to news. It's all
He's
about separating the
dehydrated. We'll let
emotion
that one
from
go.
So the good news is we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
That is good news.
The bad news is I don't think it's civil anymore there. It's probably under siege.
Okay, so let's lay this out. So what has happened so far is we uncovered some plans,
Yeah.
and we've, as you would know because you were there with us, so you would be aware that, you know, they might have taken Mako too seriously when he said he wanted everyone to be under one power.
That's not what I said.
This is your fault, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, my father got a letter from, like, the Emperor. You know how it be sometimes. You just get letters from him.
Yes.
No.
Good. Emperor. The Fire Lord.
Fire Lord.
Fire Lord? Yeah.
Let him
So,
do that.
Take those plans, Mako. Excellent. I
have
have
this-
the Fire Kingdom. Yes.
There's someone on my shoulder speaking right now. It's weird.
That's what your subconscious says.
He was like,
Lynn.
my father was like, change of plans. How do you think we should go about this? And I implied that we should be a role model for other nations. I don't think he took it that way.
You implied that, but what you said was
We should help unite all nations.
we should become one nation under one ruler.
No, I didn't say one ruler. That was not a part of it at all. We should unite. Then something happened without me realizing that I don't think my father was in control of 100%. I think the general's in control, and he sort of just rallied the army and attacked everyone.
So basically, the Fire Nation's trying to take over everything.
Wow.
I don't think Mako should ever be in politics, ever. Agreed? Aye.
I don't.
Hey.
Literally
wanna
the son
be
of a
there.
politician.
I don't want. Hey, don't worry.
trained
I don't want to be in
trained since
politics either.
birth.
I don't want to be in politics. This is not where I want to be.
I think so. There's nothing we can do for the Barsing, for the Beifong
Beifong
estate.
estate.
But I'm very curious why all of those Firebender soldiers, Fire Nation soldiers, were going to the Lodestone.
You mean where the really awesome metal is that you can make really awesome weapons out of?
That is exactly why I am concerned.
Maybe.
Hence
How
the
much?
words concerned.
How much metal do Fire Nation soldiers carry on them at all times?
Well, they've usually got at least a sword. Oftentimes,
Yes.
they also have a.
Depending on who you're
What's
talking
it
about.
called? It's like a scimitar. But it's not a
Exactly.
scimitar.
Exactly.
You mean a
They
polearm?
have
Like a...
They have a
Messiah
skinned
crit?
minotaur, and they have a sword. Now,
Sword.
what
Sword?
is
Fucking hell.
swords and scimitars?
The
I
heat
made
is
it
really
metal.
getting to us, guys. The
Swords-
imaginary heat.
Sorry, hang on. No. Did you just
Yeah.
say swords and swimitar? Did I hear that?
Swords and scimitars.
Scimitars.
Oh, fuck you know.
I am a child.
Squads.
In character and life.
some squads and squimitars.
Swords
I'm
and
squared.
scimitars.
I'm squared of
It's like
swords and
when I-
squimitars. Yeah, okay, we're done.
It's like when I played Dark Souls, like scimitar. I'm like, no, it's a scimitar. Anyway, and he said that thing was magnetic. Maybe they're all just being drawn to it by its magnetism.
No, that's not all where I thought that conversation was going.
This is not where...
Maybe the
wait,
magnetism
Joseph, wait,
lures
wait,
them
wait.
inwards.
We know your names, but just so we know how, like... To grab an age perspective of, like, maturity-wise, how old are, like, the three of you?
17, 16, mind of a
Okay.
child.
Okay. Yep.
Chronologically or mentally is the question you need to really, like...
Mentally.
Chronologically,
yes.
Rung is 17.
Yeah.
How old is
Yeah.
Al?
We'll call him 14.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
Oh, you're a
And-
young lad.
Yeah,
How
very
old is
capable.
Oki? You're
Capable.
17, aren't you?
She's
Yeah.
also 17.
So most of us are like we're a group of like 17,
And then
16, 17 year olds
Oh.
with this fucking child.
I'll, if you want to age yourself a little bit, let me know. Because I was under the impression you were like 16, 17 when I did your character out. I would have done it a little bit
Okay.
differently if I had
Oh
known
yeah,
you were
he's
14.
growing bum fluff.
Yeah,
so,
you've got a beard.
Yeah.
That's
We'll call him
actually-
16. We'll give him something.
15?
He's
15's a bit older.
16. He's year 10.
Okay, he's year 10. Okay.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Okay, so you're all younger, cool. Yeah. So we should probably go check out the Buzzard Rock thing.
Why?
What? Just to make sure that they're not up to anything really suspicious that they are up to, that 100% is happening. Probably try to stop that, to try to slow down whatever their plans are.
But why? We need to agree as a council of friends.
Yes,
A
yes,
friend council.
obviously.
That we are
As
all
a
on
whole.
the same side here. There's all nations we all split together. Now, here's my theory. It's like I pull out my badge again, my coal badge. Like now I've proved myself to be a rather depth detective with my assistant or partner, I should say. are in our discoveries during this case. I'm
The
gonna be
Watson
great
to my
detective,
Holmes, one might say.
The Watson to my home.
We've solved 100% of mysteries we haven't attempted to solve.
I'll airband himself a little pebble stone and puts it on the table next to the star.
Yes, on the case now. It seems as though that the Fire Nation is not quite on our side at this moment, and you seem to be the one who instigated
No.
this entire orchestrate with your father. So why should we trust you to walk to the big lodestone and magnetism
I
that's
didn't
drawing
know
all
this
the
was
Firestone
happening.
people together?
That's actually fair for you to all see it that way. Yep, that is 100%
But actually,
fair.
from a like just a fun audience standpoint, your character did say, and I quote, "It would be great if everyone was united under one banner, and we could bring everyone together." Which,
Yeah.
given the context of the Fire Nation, does sound a bit suspicious now that they're
I
attacking.
was just talking
Yeah.
to my father about like
The
Your
father
father
lord.
is an
It was purely theoretically
extremely
experiments.
no.
politician.
Who at that
I'm
point
just
I
skeptic.
thought
I'm
was
just a skeptic.
who at that point I thought was on like working together with everyone, did not realize what the letter was sent was about. Just full heads up.
I mean, when you're in front of the Four Nation Tribunal, which is essentially like the same as the Nuremberg trials for the Nazis, you can say those things, and I'm sure they'll take
yeah.
them seriously.
I
Yeah, they'll trust you.
100% thought that they would not go that way.
Oh, is that a
Um,
quote from the Nuremberg trials? Anyway,
Yeah, as you guys are talking, Tal sort of wanders back over and sits down, tucking his swords back into his back, and then leaning back on a chair. He's like, man, busy rush tonight. Seems like there's a lot of people who are thirsty for some fruit drinks. How you lot doing? Enjoy your drink? All good? Yes.
It was awesome.
Yes,
Feel
well, that's
energetic
great.
now.
Carrying
Yeah,
on for this space.
yes, but my drink is like barely touched.
Okay. Anyone who has drunk
Rude.
most of, if not all of their drink, can remove a fatigue. Sorry, can remove 2 fatigue or a condition. Their choice.
well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
As
double
you
check.
enjoy a delicious beverage. Right, so I think I promised you lot a story. What story did I promise you lot? Sorry,
Is it
I've
2
had a few other
fatigue or 1
things.
condition? Is it?
Your choice.
Okay, remove a condition.
Yeah, so what story did you guys want to hear? I think you were asking about, was it the
Ice.
monk grills? No, we talked about him. We covered that one off.
Yeah, no.
Soldiers,
Yeah, he's
the
being
lodestone. We talked about that.
We talked about that. We covered that.
We agreed that they're probably magnetized towards it because they carry swords and they're probably being dragged through the
Oh,
desert.
hey,
We did not agree.
no,
that was
did
not
that.
agreed upon.
That sounds
unanimous.
like, yeah, that sounds like a thing. It could be that. I do suspect that they want it because it's valuable, though. But I mean, look,
I think that is
second
the.
second option.
I'll take that into
magnetism.
account in my investigations. Write that in like a coal pen in my notepad. Just grabbing coal.
But you're just drawing a picture because, like, it's just a stick figure, like giving you a high five. Yeah. So, what about the lost library of Wan Shi Tong?
The what?
The lost library of Wan Shi Tong in the Si Wong
I
Desert.
don't see how that would
Spirit.
be useful to us.
Oh, do you guys not know this story?
He's got a point. Continue.
Yeah, so there are legends, tales of a library owned by a spirit deep in the desert that moves about from place to place. Wan Shi Tong, he who knows 1,000 things. Or is it 10,000 things? Could be 10,000 things. 1,000 things isn't that impressive. I think I know 1,000 things. But 10,000 things is more impressive. He who knows 10,000 things. They say that his servants, these fox servants, scour the world, gathering knowledge for him. And if you can present him with a piece of knowledge that is unknown to him, you are granted access to his library. We get scholars from the Earth Nation, the Earth Kingdom, coming through all the time. Coming from Ba Sing Se, looking for the desert. Very few who don't travel with sandbenders, very few return. But occasionally you get someone who comes back, this sort of mad glint in their eye, a scroll tucked under an arm, or some sort of knowledge that they've taken with them. Head back and, I assume, make a lot of money from their knowledge. I imagine that's what you do with knowledge, right? It's like a tradable good.
Yeah.
100%, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope so.
Yeah, see, look, I know how to make delicious fruit drinks, therefore I earn money making delicious fruit drinks. Simple as
That is knowledge.
Yeah, I used to use these swords to kill people, but it is much better to make delicious fruit drinks.
Rung knows not a lot, therefore Rung is broke.
Exactly. Look at him. There he's gone. Look at that. He's just turned his camera feed off, and his face has gone dark. Oh, there's another story.
I ran out of money for my camera.
There's a spirit, Ko the Face Stealer. Do you reckon that's what's happened to him? Did you
I think
show
that's
emotion
what's
to
happened,
Ko the Face Stealer?
I'm getting a battery.
It now says webcam utility. I'm assuming that's some sort of code.
Yeah.
I'm turning his webcam off. If you could let me know when his webcam is back on again, I'll bring him back. But for the moment, we'll just use his face.
Not his face.
Yes, his
is coming
face.
back.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wan Shitong's library. Do you reckon are you here to have a crack at that? You didn't know about it, so you can't have been here to have a crack at that. You're young enough to be students, though. Often it's the young, stupid ones who aren't good enough to do it on their own who come in trying to look for the library, trying to get some extra edge. It's like cheating in an exam.
That's a real dig.
Oh, not you. You're not part of the Ba Sing Se University. I was talking about this one. He nods towards Rung the Earthbender.
Oh, you think he went to university?
Well, he's got that badge he's flashing around. I assumed that meant he was some sort of like prefect or hall monitor.
Sure. Okay.
Has about as much power.
I think it has less, actually.
Less power than a hall monitor.
I mean, out
Wow.
in the real world.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh,
And
real
you
world,
watches
yeah,
Rung
probably.
just like suddenly realizing he needs to take a piss, just like runs off around the corner and like disappears from you. All right, mate, just try not to. There's a toilet inside. Never mind, he's gone. So, was that the story you guys were after, Wan Shitong's library? I don't think that was it though. That doesn't sound like the one you were after.
No. Not quite.
Camera's back, Owen.
I was after the ice. I think, no, I wasn't. They were.
Oh, the ice. Yes. Oh, of course. The glacier of the Misty Palms Oasis. Well, long ago, believe it or not, this whole desert used to be an ocean. A vast sea filled with all manner of creatures. But one day, when the spirit of the moon was injured on her left fin, her path through the sky was changed, and she had to take a different route, and the rain stopped falling, and the ocean was pulled away as the moon spirit left, leaving this place dry and dusty. But they say that the center of her power was right here, in the Misty Palm Springs Oasis, and that there will always be a pillar of ice that grows here. I do carve off quite a bit though for my fruity drinks.
And it always comes back?
No, absolutely not. It is a dwindling resource.
How do you
Is it
intend
so-
on continuing to make money?
Well, look, I'll be fine for my generation, and as long as my kids will probably be okay too. Their kids couldn't give a shit about them. Not my problem. That's 2 generations of future people I have to worry about.
So
too hard.
wait. You use a dwindling resource to make
Yes.
cups?
Yes, that's right. Keep them cool and fresh.
Why
And
don't
when
you
it melts, it refreshes the drink and refills it.
Why don't you have cups and then cut like little pieces into the cup? So you use less, but it keeps it just as refreshed.
Yeah, you can make like little cubes.
I can't hear him.
So it's a whole experience, mate. I mean, I could cut tiny cubes, but that doesn't show off my sword skills. Cutting cups out of ice using 2 katana, that's far more impressive. People come for that. That's what you pay for. You're not paying for the fruit drink, mate. You're paying for the experience.
For the culture.
For the
It's kind of
culture.
amazing. They make like this, this tiny bowl out of like a katana. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I've got my
yeah,
nails
it's
on it.
really hard. took me 15 years to master. As you look at him, he does not look older than 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, my master taught me well.
Okay.
Yeah, I travelled
What was your master's
through
name?
Oh, master. No, he didn't have a name. He just went by master. He had no name. He was so enlightened he had no need of one.
Master.
No, just master.
Master.
No, just
Master. Master Sensei, thank you.
No, just master.
Just master.
Sometimes
Okay.
Sifu. I would sometimes call him Sifu, which is teacher. He didn't like that. He preferred master. I think
just
he had
master?
I think he got a bit of a power trip off it, if I'm being honest.
Well, it worked. This cup is incredible.
Bit
Oh, it's
tower
melting. It's like, you just got the, like, what's food for a drink, just like put like the ice ball in the back of my neck and just cooling it down, like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Feels good. And then starts to feel very cold as the ice begins to melt dripping cold water down your spine, which is a universally unpleasant sensation.
Suffering through it, yes.
Yeah, no, dwindling resource, that iceberg. It's not going to be around forever. I reckon in 100 years there'll be barely anything left.
How big is like the iceberg that we're seeing here? Like, is it like monolithic big? Like,
it's big. So it's roughly 30 to 35 meters high, and then it's hard to sort of measure diameter because it's very chunky, but probably 20 to 25 meters across. It's big. It's a big chunk of ice.
So does like the sun melt it, or is it just you guys using it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sun melts
Everything?
it. We cut it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah. Oh, when and look, and the animals come and lick it, which probably doesn't help either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's how people get a drink here.
You just lick the ice.
Yeah. Sometimes drunk people will piss on it to like carve their name in it.
who would imagine doing that?
I just look at all the empty drinks and go, "Yep, cool."
Yeah.
So do you get your
no,
ice
no.
from?
Oh, mate, I don't take my ice from that low. No.
You take it from the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You paused for a long time when you said that.
Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Yeah.
So is the ice getting thinner at the bottom but staying heavier at the top, so it's going to fall over?
No, because the sun is melting the top bit faster.
Ah, okay.
So what happens is you ready for some science. You sit yourself down, pull out your notebooks, class is in session. As the sun melts the top, the water goes down the sides and it refreezes as it gets colder at the bottom. So gradually, it's actually moving the ice down, but then we cut away stuff from the sides, right? So that undoes that. So roughly we're going at it at the same pace. Us and the sun are in a bit of a race to see who can like completely destroy this wonder of the natural world first.
I'm gonna assume it's gonna be you guys.
I reckon the sun's gonna have us beat, mate. It's pretty hot during the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty hot during the day. He's right about
But
that.
then you're just gonna make more drinks, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
and the ice I have inside melts, so I need to cut more.
Yeah. How many trips a day do you do?
Depends on how hot
4?
the day is.
Yeah,
5 or
fair.
6.
5 or 6. Wow.
Long the
Yeah.
day is.
If I need to take a piss as well, that's an extra trip to the iceberg.
Didn't you say there was a toilet inside? Wait.
Yeah, it's too far.
I just picture like all these little frozen turds around the ice.
No, not like that. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm joking. That's silly.
You do get the sense he's joking.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Okay,
That's
so
incredible.
just to
So,
be the moon's
What if
power source.
What if we had a thought before we would be thinking about go around and do some sightseeing and checking things out, and that lodestone in that library seems almost too interesting to pass up.
Yeah, so
If one were to
Lodestone,
go there
only
and see
maybe
it.
1 out of 10 people return alive from that, so definitely a good sightseeing spot. The Lost Library of One Shitong. Well, it's lost.
1
and
out
I
of
reckon-
10 is pretty good odds when we've got 5, so
No, it's not.
Yeah, we could
Statistically,
lose
none of you
one
will
person.
return. No, it's half a person
statistically
will
half of
return
us
alive.
could return.
2, 3,
Half of
Half
one
a
of us.
person is not alive, just so you know.
So
I
2.
don't know, like one of us could like lose our legs or something.
Is this
and
including
manage to,
people
like,
that we-
roll out?
Is this
Normally, it's the
including people
Sandbender guide who returns back. Just a heads
Is
up.
this,
What if
is this
we-
including the
If
people
we had a
that we
bigger
left
group
with?
of people,
I don't
Of
know.
at least 10.
if we had like 100 people, then no
10
way.
of you'd survive, probably.
We've had 50
If-
people with us.
If we have 50,
5
we'll
of you
all
survive.
get out, right?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if this included like people we entered the desert with, would that change anything?
No, I'm assuming it's people you go to the Lodestone
Oh.
with, to the Buzzard Hornet
Damn.
nest.
Where are
Damn.
you
It's the
getting
buzzard
these
hornets that kill
statistics
people.
from?
Science. An observation. All right, my bottom. Look, it's hard to know. Because people who
I'll
go
take
don't
this.
return. So I don't know whether they like didn't return because they were killed by the Buzzard Hornets or didn't return because they went out the other side of the desert, didn't bother coming back to the cultural hub of the desert.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
So we
They're really missing
don't
out.
actually know if we're gonna die if we go there. There's a
No,
good
maybe
chance we
100%
probably
of people
won't.
die. No, not 100% because people do come back occasionally to the Oasis. But they say it's shit.
Maybe they just don't like your drink, so they leave the other way out.
I was gonna give you
Your
supplies
drinks
for your
are very
journey.
nice.
I was about to ask about the supplies.
I love the drinks. If you're going to give her a drink, I'll take all of her drinks. And you love the drinks as well, right?
I'll still staring off. He hasn't been speaking much, but he just nods. So good. So
Yes,
good.
I love them. They're the best drinks I've ever had.
As you like move his mouth with your hand. Yeah, the airbender convinced me. That sounded honest and genuine. Any man willing to say that while another man's holding his jaw has got to be telling the truth.
Yeah, we're close bunch here. Very, very close. Well, yes,
I'll let the other people sharing the dormitory with you know that, so they can go at the other end of the dormitory.
Well, there's plenty of space there. 5 of us, 15 beds, 2 of them. We may fit.
12 beds, but I get the point.
God, someone else have to do the math for me on that one later on. But yes,
Alright.
we'll be fine.
Supplies.
Don't.
Now, because I am a bloody legend, I do have some things that I can give you for your journey. I do have here some preserved fruits, and he pulls up and slams on the table. Now, often when my fruit is towards the point where I think it's probably better to preserve it, I tend to dry the fruit out, or to glacé it. Very fancy waterbending term, that one. Where you replace the water of the fruit with sugar. Now, I didn't have a huge amount of sugar, so I have used some salt for this.
With fruit,
Did you want those, or did you just want to take the dried fruits with you?
Just. I think
Basically the same colors.
No,
Sure,
yes.
fine.
No. I
Some
will
of them
take the
I
dried
have.
ones.
I had sugar for like these ones. He holds out a bag of basically
We'll
preserved
take the
apple.
sugared and
the salt
I'll
ones.
take the
dried one. No,
salted
we
ones.
won't
The-
be needing the salted ones. It's
The
fine.
salt ones are good. 'Cause it's a very important thing, because when the Earth people in this way here, like, it's very hot, especially in the mines. You be working all day, you sweat and get muscly like men do. And women also get sweaty and muscly, and then you lose salt. You lose salt when you sweat, so trust me, you're gonna need some salty fruit to replenish the salt to your body.
We've got the name of the episode, everybody. You need some salty fruit.
Salty fruit. Salty fruit. Episode 3.
What's
Jesus.
for salty fruits?
Look, you're probably right.
But
The
trust
last
me.
person I served this to dehydrated and died of heat stroke. So probably
Not much
best I don't
salty
feed him.
fruit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll chuck him in the bin. I just wanted to make sure. I thought it was worth a try.
It was a valiant attempt. Won't deny you that.
He will hand over to each of you 2 rations, essentially. So you have two rations that you can add to your inventories. So 2 meals worth of rations that will get you through the desert. You just add it in the comments section, in the notes section down the bottom of your character sheets. If you have trouble, let me know and I can help. Right. It's getting a bit late. I'm thinking about closing up the front of the shop. I think everyone's had their fill of fruity beverages. You lot gonna head to bed?
Yeah.
Is there enough time to get a little bit of shopping done before we go? Or
You can go talk to the Beetleheaded merchants. Yeah, sure. Here you go. Here's the key. Hands you a dormitory key. Head round the side, up the stairs, up the top's the dormitory. I've only got 1 key, so you're gonna have to share.
Awesome.
Works for us.
I imagine
I
the
gave the other
key
key to
has
the other
like
people.
I imagine the key just has like a potato masher or something on there. Like when you go to the servo.
It's got a large block.
Spoon.
It's got a large block of sandstone with the number 2 written on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you break the
Cool.
sandstone
Yeah.
block, please replace it. Everyone breaks it.
I'll make a
Wanna
pretty
get
one.
some quick stuff.
Yeah, Beetleheaded merchants. You might have a bit of trouble if they've not come into town for the evening. Gates are closed after 10 p.m.
We can do it tomorrow morning.
I think that sounds like a fine idea.
And then Oki would like to check in on Al, like noticing that he's a bit quiet.
Bit
She'd
checked
like
out.
to sort of try and do that confident support, like the heal the foot kind of thing, like, you know, sort of make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
he's alright.
You can pull the water from the cups. You don't even need to use your bending water. You can melt the
You say
ice.
heal underfoot?
Heal
Cactus
his foot.
thorn.
Oh, I thought you like to comfort him. You're gonna put your heel on his foot. That's what I heard. Like that will comfort him, just like boom.
Very
Must be
weird.
that bending thing.
That's what you
Hope
wanted
you're
to
like
hear. I
broken
think.
toes.
we're gonna hold hands, but with our toes. Yeah. So confidence support, please, Oki.
Has Tal left?
No, Tal has not left at this point. He's like packing up, closing up the front of shop. Uh-oh, 5. What happens on a 5? On a hit, so nothing happens. So, if they don't, marking condition take 1. No, so nothing happens. So as you go to do this, Oki, as you focus, the water begins glowing, but the Aldous doesn't feel much relief from it. And as you pull it away, you can see that the burn is and the cut's sort of mostly healed, but it's still a bit sore. The burn is healed, but it's still causing him grief. It's not fully gone. As you go to sort of like do this water bending healing.
It snaps out of his it snaps him out of his like.
Yeah, because it's ice cold water. She's literally just melted it from the cups, and she just presses it against your foot all of a sudden without any word, and you're just like.
And he's like, guys, I've been thinking, and I've been thinking hard about this one. Does that mean the Daily were good guys and using us as hostages to stop a war?
Don't think so. I think we are caught in the middle of the biggest shit show there is between Daily trying to take power, the Fire Nation trying to take power. God knows who else is going to try and take power. I think it's just the beginning of a lot of shit that's about to happen.
Daily didn't seem very protective at the time. It seemed rather hostile, like their hands were like sharp stones, and they trapped us in a boulder.
Then they put us in a metal cage and took us outside the city where we would have been useful.
And there wasn't much water in that hot metal cage either, from memory.
No. Or
I mean,
food.
you could be right still. Maybe there's really bad hosts.
I hope everyone else is okay.
I gave him a 2-star rating.
Engraved on the cage, 2 stars. Yeah. Oh, okay.
We can add it into our detective notes for later when we collect the evidence at court. I don't have any right to be in court either. Actually, I don't want to be court. Maybe we can send the notes off to someone else.
I think that'd just be wise.
Yes, maybe like a layer or something can handle it for us.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, you guys heading to bed?
Yeah, makes sense.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna stay up a bit later. Just walk around.
Okay, just walk around town?
Just walk around town.
Absolutely.
And eventually get back to bed. Like, not straight
Shurva?
away, like a couple of hours.
Shurva, as you go...
Hopefully sneak
It's
off without
eyeballs.
her knowing, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Do you
you're
take the
trying to
keys?
sneak away from Shurva.
Sneak away. Now, the
That's
problem
going
is,
to
I'm pretty sure her
be-
guarded ability lets her know where I am.
know
at
where
all
you are at
times.
all times.
Yeah.
Only if
But I
I
hope-
have one of my burden moves.
Which I think you
You do.
do still have one. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you've got one.
Yeah, I do.
So, she's happy about it too. Mako, as you try and sneak off, I think what we're going to get you to do is... I think this is a push your luck or a trick. I will allow you to tell me which one you would prefer. Push your luck is using passion. Trick is creativity.
Oh my god, I'm gonna push my luck.
You're gonna push your luck. Okay. Oh boy. This is just such a great idea.
This is gonna
Like,
go
oh, I've got a
swimmingly.
special soldier who guards me at all times. Yeah, I'm going to ditch him and go to a new town where I've never been before at night and just wander around by myself. 11,
yeah.
full success.
Well, apparently, yes, he is.
As you guys head upstairs, you head on in. Mako sort of goes, I'm just gonna pop to the bathroom for a second, be right back, and then heads back outside again. Shurva, at this point, you're sort of assessing the room, mainly focusing on these 2 other people who are sharing the dorm with you. Your focus isn't so much on Mako at this point, it's on the people who are going to be sleeping near Mako in the night. You don't know these people, you're keeping an eye on them, you're not so sure about who these people are. Which is how we explain how Mako sneaks away.
Yeah.
So you begin sort of looking over them. They look like 2 very normal Earth Nation youths. probably in their 17, 18s, man and a woman. They are sitting at the edge of the bed, poring over these scrolls and maps and books, which they have arranged around them. And they're sort of like pushing through all these papers, reading really carefully, and commenting on the background. So I've been like, yeah, so maybe if we perhaps, no, I'm not so sure. I think we need to follow the shifting dunes. That the poem is very clear. But the shifting dunes, that could be anywhere in the desert. That doesn't really narrow it down very much for us. And they're sort of talking backwards and forwards as this goes on. The rest of you, as you walk in the dormitory, is a long, narrow room with beds arranged 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 as it goes down. So the beds are 12 beds, 6 on each side, in this sort of corridor-like room. There's bedside tables. There's little drawers that have been set up so you can put your clothes and things in them if you brought any things with you. And the beds themselves look to be fairly comfortable as you look over them. You can see that they are essentially like tatami mats, the Japanese tatami mats, over an earth-bended lower mattress, and then sheets and other material has been put on top of that to provide a bit of extra comfort. And the pillows look to be okay as well. Looks clean, looks not too dusty, given that this is the desert. Not too much sand and dust inside. Looks to be well swept. Well kept, well swept is how I'm going to describe it. Shurva, as you turn back around, you realize Mako hasn't come back yet. And we're going to jump to Mako, and we'll come back to your reaction. Mako, as you head back into the town and begin walking around, you can see that a number of the houses and things like that are being closed up as people get ready for bed. They close window shutters and things like that to keep some of the warmth of the day in, keep the cold out. So they let a lot of the cool air in to cool the house down. And then right when it gets to just around room temperature, they shut everything up again to keep it warm overnight so it doesn't get too cold in the cool of the desert. The central square, central circle, town circle where the iceberg is, has a series of roads heading out like a 5-pointed star, and then other roads branch off of those. You guys have come in from the southern main road. There is a northern gate as well, a southern gate and a northern gate that you can see. Cool. And then the rest of the roads are branching off to various houses and shops and various other locations in and amongst town. What is your goal here? Are you just having a bit of a wander around, seeing what you can see? I'm
just seeing what I can see. I have my left hand gripped on my sword.
Yep.
It's more of just asking, thinking to myself, what should I be doing in this situation?
Yeah.
What have I gotten us all into? Is this this is all my fault?
Yeah. Can I get you to assess a situation for me? And you're having a bit of a moral crisis, I might say. Aren't you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We might have some fun with that then, Mako.
Oh, mixed hit.
7. Okay, so Mako, you're drawn between forgiveness and action. That's your two sides of the balance,
yes.
Correct? Okay. As you're thinking these things over, one of the things you keep coming back to, that you keep sort of struggling over, is your loyalty to your family, your loyalty to your father, and your loyalty to your people.
Yeah.
Which is driving you towards action. That is pushing you in the direction of action, in acting in the Fire Nation's interests, in working with them. But on the other hand, there is part of you that gets the sense that power, that lust for power, is wrong. There's that greed is a danger, and that is sort of pulling you towards forgiveness, pulling you away from that action, pulling you towards inaction in a way. What I'm going to get you to do, depending on how you think Mako would be, I need you to move yourself in either direction of forgiveness or action, your choice, but you need to move towards one of them, depending on how Mako is feeling.
So how does that work? Sorry, because there's the two things there.
So you have to move both of them. I know, because it's a bit of a weird system. Yeah.
So I have to move one way and the other the other.
No, so move in one direction. Yeah. So exactly right. So that way you can roll with balance or action, with forgiveness or action.
Oh wait,
so
that's sorry. I moved one. Yep,
yeah,
cool.
that's
like
better.
That.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you move towards forgiveness. Okay. So your crisis, as you're sort of moving along, your resolve. Yes, you are going against your people. Yes, you are going against the wishes of your family and your father. But this is the right thing to do. This is what you should do. This is, you have been taught not to just blindly follow orders. You have been taught to question, to think for yourself. And you begin doing that. And you find yourself rejecting what the Fire Nation are doing, rejecting what your father has decided or what he has committed to. And yeah, you find yourself at cross purposes to the wishes of your nation.
Cool.
Mako, as you go through an emotional or a intellectual struggle, at your feet, a light begins to shine through the sand. As you sort of step back in confusion, you see the small, glowing spirit of a fish swim up through the desert sand, moving up into the air, swimming as if through an invisible ocean. This very small, tiny minnow swims around, sort of swimming around your hand before moving back down towards the sand and moving along the surface. What would you like to do?
I would like to, if it's moving away from me, I would like to follow it.
Yeah, it is moving away from you.
Yeah, but there's a small smirk on my face, maybe the stories are actually true.
As you begin following this small fish, you see it's heading towards the iceberg in the center of town. And as it swims towards it, it then swims on into the iceberg and disappears from view. But you can still see the glow, this light blue glow heading through the iceberg. And as it reaches the center, the iceberg begins to glow almost with the light of the moon, this silvery, soft blue light. We're going to jump back to Shurva for a second. Shurva, yeah, you turn around. Mako's gone. Again.
All right. So the last thing he said before he left is that he was just gonna duck out to the bathroom.
Yep.
Okay. So Sorry, are we upstairs?
Yes, you're in the dormitory.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go downstairs first, and I just knock on the door of the bathroom.
The bathroom door swings open. Empty.
Alright. Little fucking shit, not fucking again. Okay. I go upstairs.
I feel like that was both Bree and Shurva in that moment.
I go upstairs, I put all my stuff away on my bed, like my rations, anything that I'm carrying with me. I equip my whip. And I take off. I take off outside. And I look around a little bit first.
Doesn't take you much time to see him. But
in your whip, it's like your car. Like I hop in my whip and I'll through the cultural hub of the desert.
So in the time that I've come out to see him, is he following this glowing thing yet, or
he has actually moved back to the iceberg. So as you emerge, you can see him standing in front of the massive iceberg, and the iceberg, is faintly glowing, more than is just reflection from the moon above. I can see the glow
as well.
You can see it as well.
Okay, I walk over to him, but I'm kind of looking at the iceberg, noticing its glow, and I'll go over and I'm like, "What have you done now?"
Nothing. I've done nothing this time. I think it's trying to show me something.
What do you mean show you something? It's a rock.
There's something else there. Don't worry.
What have you seen?
Let's just say that not all tales are tales, and some have some truth behind them.
Okay, you can stop with your cryptic bullshit. What did you see?
A little fish. I think that's more confusing to you now, but there you go.
A little fish.
Yeah, it was really kind of cool. It was flying around, and then it sort of went back down into the sand.
A flying fish.
They do exist, but not that kind. No. It was made of light, and now it's in the ice, and I don't know what's happening anymore.
I walk up to Mark, grab him by the jaw, and I look deep in his eyes, and I'm like, "Have you had any cactus?"
It'll quench you.
No. It's the quenchiest. No, I have not. No, I have not had any cactus. You can head back though. There's nothing to worry about.
Well, I can't just leave you out here. We don't know who's around.
Where am
We
I
don't
going
know
to go to?
what's around. I'm not
The-
worried about where you're going to go. I'm worried about other people finding you.
All the gates are locked. It's fine. Most people are packing up for the night.
Okay, but are things locked out or are we locked in?
But both. Very much
So
both.
what do you think could be locked in with us if this is a cultural hub?
Cultured people, apparently.
Look, I will let you have your little adventure. I'll let
Cool.
you see your flying fish and everything, but I will be staying with you.
Fine. Do as you please. Did you grab the key at least so that we can get back in, or did you leave that up there with them?
She specifically said she left everything that wasn't her weapon.
Shit.
I made note. I was like, ah.
Yep.
Calm down.
Yep. Don't worry, I did too.
Rewind. What happened?
It's okay, we'll find another way. Someone
just
will
fire
notice
bend
us
the
missing
door down.
eventually.
It's a wooden door, right? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's a wooden door.
We're not breaking in entering.
Is it breaking and entering if you paid
what's-
to be there?
Yes.
It's just,
Yeah,
it's just negligible damage of property or willful damage of property.
Anyway, what's the fish up to at this point?
Yeah,
Is it
as you guys are sort of watching, the light begins to move around inside the iceberg again, Mako. And then, Shurva, you see this too. This tiny little minnow, this ghostly, spiritual apparition, this see-through minnow, swims out through the side of the iceberg and begins sort of darting around just near the surface of the sand, backwards and forwards. All of a sudden, this thin line flies out of the darkness and lands on the sand right in front of the minnow. The minnow sort of darts around this little hook on the end of this line. And then as it sort of goes to nibble at it, you hear this reeling noise as the line and hook begin flying backwards, but the minnow, it just passes through the minnow. It's a spirit. And you hear this, damn it, coming from the side.
I look over to see where this sound came from.
Up on top of one of the houses, sitting with his legs dangling over the edge of the little hut, is an old man. Very, very old. Skin is wrinkled and prudy. He almost looks like he has been dried up like a raisin by the desert sun and wind and sand. And he has this long fishing line on a fishing pole. And he's sort of getting ready to cast it again. Sparse wisps of hair, sparse wisps of white beard, one eye slightly larger than the other, a couple of crooked teeth in his mouth, dressed in these very ragged robes. As he flings it out again, he goes, "I'll get you this time. Come in."
Yes,
Do
the
the best.
cultured people you were talking about.
Excuse me, sir.
Wings back. Damn it!
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Have you ever caught one before?
no, never.
So,
But I will
never?
this time. I'm
You
sure
will?
of it.
Do you know what it is?
Some sort of fish.
I just look over my shoulder and go, "Told you."
It's an airfish. I
An
think
airfish.
it swims.
An
Well, the
airfish.
sea fish swim in the sea, right? Well, this is an airfish.
But doesn't it swim in the
Sometimes swims in
ice?
the sand.
So would that make it a sandfish?
Sometimes it's a sandfish. Look, as it swims down to the sand, he's like, now it's a sandfish. As it comes back out again, back to an airfish.
So what are you using to catch this, or try to catch this?
Hook and line.
I think you might need to change your attempt, but that's beyond me. Has it been here all your life?
Oh, they're all through the desert, these little things. Used to be a sea, a vast ocean, before it dried up. The spirit that resides here, the deep blue spirit, wanders the desert, and if you can catch one of his little fish, you can ask for a wish. One fish, one wish. He does that, yeah. For podcast listeners, I over-exaggerated doing a one-on-one hand and one on the other hand. Well, one fish, one
That was really good. I really enjoyed
like
that.
this.
I physicalize my characters. I can't do the voices. I physically get into it. So when I
That
do
was-
like
that was
Gollum's
awesome.
voice, for example,
That was
I'm
awesome.
like, stupid fat Oasis. I have to get into
Shoulders.
it. Yeah.
I
You
put my-
have to.
after hearing that, I immediately put my hand down to try to hand out just to see if the fish will come near it.
Yeah, it sort of comes over and begins sort of nibbling at your fingers, but Mako just goes through, and as you close your fingers around, the fish just swims away through your fingers, just passes through you.
So it's a spirit.
It's a spirit.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
definitely a spirit.
fish.
And I would say that now that you can see it a little bit closer, and both of you've had a bit of a chance to examine it, you can see these swirling wave-like patterns along its body that are glowing very slightly with this light blue energy, and its eyes are just these glowing blue eyes. There's no pupils or anything like that, just glowing blue eye sockets.
I've been wanting my wish for 50 years.
So you've been trying to hunt a spirit for 50 years.
Not one spirit, lots of spirits. For a while I roamed the sands, but the worms... dangerous little buggers.
Have you ever been eaten by a worm?
Nope. My cousin was. Awful.
Did he come out
Drove
the
me
other end?
mad. What was that?
Starting to wonder who the cousin is here.
Did he come out the other end?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
What is your wish?
That confirms that they can come out the other end.
Yeah, this guy has confirmed it, therefore it must be true.
Yeah. What is
We've got
crazy
two
old
reliable
man.
sources now.
His name is now the internet.
What is
Reddit.
your wish? What is
I
your wish,
wish.
Grandpa?
It's a very personal question. Grandpa,
It is.
I'm a young
Oh,
man in my prime.
He's
Prime of
not.
what?
Definitely not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As he stands up, his knees click, he goes, oh!
I'm
Sits
sorry.
back down
It's
again.
a bit dark. I can't see properly.
Knees clicking. He could just be a 20-year-old. Like, come on.
Yeah.
His hip clicks then. You happy?
That's uncomfortable.
My hip.
Old people are always saying shit like that.
Yeah, they are.
Very personal question to ask what someone's wish is. Couldn't tell you if I wanted to. They say if you verbalize your wish before you have the fish, no wish. Just a fish.
Just a fish?
Yes.
That's fair. Well, then, do you
Hmm.
mind if I just sit here and watch the fish tonight?
You're not gonna try and catch this fish?
No, the fish is all yours to try to catch.
He looks at you, assessing whether or not you're telling the truth. But he seems
Nothing-
satisfied.
Hey, no fishing rod, no fishing rod. I can't catch it.
Can
Didn't
I
try to grab it
use...
before, though.
Hey, but I went straight through.
Ah, not worthy. Not worthy.
Not worthy. Not
Not
worthy.
worthy.
Yes, Shurva.
Can I
We're
use
not
suspicious
worthy.
mind on him?
Can you use what, sorry?
Suspicious mind.
Yes, of course you can. Please read out loud what Suspicious Mind does. So for those people who are first playing this game or first learning how to play this game, tell us what Suspicious Mind does.
When you watch a person carefully to figure them out, roll with focus. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a 10 plus, hold 2. Spend your hold 1 for 1 to ask their player questions while you observe or interact with them. They must answer honestly.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
We're not worthy.
Oops.
We're not worthy.
We're
Look,
not
there's
No,
what
you
it
put it
is.
up there.
Not
So that we can
worthy.
By
see
accident.
7.
Alright, a
Yeah.
7. So
So
I
you can
have
ask a
a
question.
1.
And I have to answer it honestly. The examples, you can ask one of those, or you can ask any question you want.
What is your wish?
That's a dick move.
Dick move.
I guess if I say it in a different way, it's not exactly the same, is it, as saying the wish? I could say it differently. Would that still count as not using my wish?
No, I would not.
If you
I said-
whisper it, you're not really saying it.
I've also said
Ah.
some things that were said differently in my head, but came out differently, and different consequences happened according to that. So it's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to stage whisper so people can actually hear me.
Yeah.
I wish to live forever. Immortality.
That's
Ooh, I want to catch the fish bloody quick.
that's rude.
Wow.
That is
Kind of
rude.
rest
To be a
you.
lich.
That's an impressive wish. I hope you get it.
My brother, he was a fool. He just wished for gold.
Did he
get it?
catch it?
Well, he says he did. He wouldn't share any of the gold, selfish prick.
Is that why you fed him to the worm?
I didn't feed him to the worm.
No, that was the cousin.
Oh, that's the cousin? Sorry.
He is my brother as well.
What?
What messed up family trees are out here in this
my father's also my uncle.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
sure, how about
good.
the desert?
So wait, your brother's alive still?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
if
Yeah.
you could call that living.
Fair.
This is living, Barry.
Alright, I'm just gonna sit here and watch the fish. Keep trying to catch it.
You
I
can see
believe
them
in you.
sometimes in the deep desert. They don't just show themselves to anyone, though. Someone who's crazy in the head draws them out.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure of it. That's not good for my character.
Yeah.
Now
They
I
say
think I'm
you can't see
crazy.
through the cracks unless you are cracked yourself. Cracks between this world and the spirit wilds.
Cool.
At least that's
Cool.
what people tell me when I say I can see ghost fish.
Oh. Yeah, normal people wouldn't believe this, would they?
Just shakes his
No.
head, sadly.
Well, I believe you, because I can see it.
You see him pulling out a worm from like beside his pack, putting it on the hook. Puts it out again.
I'll get you this time, you little fishy. I'm gonna get you, little fishy.
Has anyone played, just a quick reference, anyone played Conker's Bad Fur Day and the Grim Reaper? And that who hates catfish, but he's constantly fishing for catfish, but he hates them because they're cats that don't want to, fish that don't want to die because they're catfish.
No, but that sounds amazing.
That is amazing.
He's like just fishing in like the river Styx essentially. He's like, little prince. Do you think you can just live forever, can you? 9 lives? Bullshit.
completely unintentional similarity there. I had
Oh,
no idea that existed.
God.
That sounds amazing.
It clicked.
That sounds
That
amazing.
is
No, I had no
amazing.
idea that I was referencing that. That's awesome. I'll check that out.
Yeah, so I just
Everything's
find a nice
referenced.
place to sit down.
Yeah.
And I'll just take a seat, like
You
just
just-
watching the fish
Stare at this spirit fish.
as it flies around, thinking that I'm going insane and that I've caused a world of problems for everyone.
I wonder if there's still an ocean on the other side.
Other side of what?
Ooh.
Wall.
The sands,
Of the wall.
the
Yeah, the
spirit.
wall. Spirit. Wall, this world.
He's like gets a little
That
stick
one.
and like gets his fishing rod, begins
Ah.
drawing. He draws he writes here and then draws a line through it and writes there and points.
Yeah, here, there. I wonder if there's
Do you-
still an ocean there.
Do you know how to get through?
in the spirit world.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's a way to get through?
Oh, you'll need an avatar for that. The bridge
Ah,
between the
shit.
worlds.
We're fresh out.
I hear we're fresh out.
Oh well.
And he's gonna be born to the air nomads, so he'll be very spiritual.
Hmm.
Wow, Mako, you sound a little less happy about being an air nomad.
No, I'm still thinking about going crazy. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you have to be crazy to see them. Don't worry about going crazy. You're already there, son.
Oh, I'm already crazy. Oh god. What does that mean?
Do you feel
Does
crazy?
What does it all mean?
Wait, what does crazy feel like? Have I
Exactly.
been crazy my whole
If
life?
If you don't feel crazy, then you're crazy.
Wait, what? Does that mean? What?
He begins like
Just
casting his line out again.
like just dread and like so many problems in my head right now. This is just adding on top.
As you're sort of sitting there, just chilling out, we'll jump back in with the others in the dormitory, Rung, Arl, and Oki. Yeah, Mako and Shurva have gone, haven't come back. But you guys are nice and comfy, tucked into bed, getting yourselves like sort of snuggled in. Oki sort of pulls out some of her furs and wraps them up. Yeah, and it feels very comfy. You can see the two Earth Nation scholars, students at the far end are still chatting away, looking over these maps. They've both got candles they're using to pour over. And you can hear that it's getting not heated, but there's a lot of passion behind what they're saying. They're really focused on their work, and there's a lot of passion. This idea of like, no, I think we're almost there. I think we've got this. Yes, I do believe you're right. I think if we could make the journey tomorrow, we're gonna need enough supplies for 2 or 3 days. If we
can find one of the foxes. That's the key. That's the key.
They're just sort of talking to each other. You can still hear them across the room. They're trying to keep their voices down, but the excitement is so high, their volume keeps creeping up again and again and again.
Rung's just sort of like, he's at that point, he's like trying to see, he's like, It's like, I have to know. Rung just gets up, like he's there, like his pillow, he's got his blanket over his shoulders like that. It's like, hey guys, what you reading there?
Hello. Sorry, were we keeping you awake?
Well, yes, in all honesty, but it was more curiosity that kept me awake, more than your voices. I can fall asleep for anything. Sounds
Lee,
really
I said,
cool
I
what you
said,
guys are
me,
reading
your voice
there.
is getting too loud. No, Lee, I've been keeping my voice down. I've been very focused on this. No. Look at him. He looks awful. Bags under his eyes, wrapped a blanket around him. He's struggling. We're sorry. We're very sorry. We've just been... We're very excited. We're looking for the library of Wan Shi Tong.
It's like he's looking like the reflection of a window at his eyeballs. Like, yeah. Wan Shi Tong. What's a Wan Shi Tong? Is that the library? Say the library of Wan Shi Tong? I'm really tired.
Spirit, he who knows 10,000 things. Wan Shi Tong.
Oh yes, that's apparently that's
you're
a lot
not a
more
student.
than 1,000 things.
You're not a student.
A student of the world. Some have said a student of the world with many people and cultures. That's why I've fitted the cultural hub of the world.
Swamp benders? I don't know.
A swamp bender? Don't go in the bathroom after me. Yes. Some have called my town my swamp. That's what I call it. Not there's a swamp nearby. It's really dry. Anyway, doesn't matter. So you guys think you found the library? I was talking to Tal around that. He says apparently it's lost. How could you find something that's lost?
Well,
unless it's found.
Well, that's what we've done. We think we found it. It was lost. Now we found it. We think. Maybe. We're still trying to figure that out. We've got to head there tomorrow.
Ooh, a journey, you say? Do you guys need company?
You do know to gain access to the library of Wan Shi Tong, you need to give knowledge that he does not already have.
Heaps of it. Got tons. Do you know that you can use coal to write with? Incredible.
Yes, charcoal.
Okay.
Use charcoal pencils.
Okay.
Yes.
Good, we can scrap that one. If you know that one, he probably knows that one. I'm sure there's plenty of other things he doesn't know.
Everyone knows that one.
Okay.
I'm literally holding 2 pencils, like right now.
I wish someone told me that one. I wish someone told me that one much sooner in life. Oh, damn. I've been walking around really, really cocky that much. Okay, so as long as you know something that he doesn't know, you could do anything. So if I was to learn something right now that he doesn't know, or I could make up something he doesn't know, then I'd win, right?
It's not about winning. It's about trading knowledge for other knowledge.
Yes, but to trade you get something back, which is kind of like winning.
But sure, yes, it's like winning.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
it's exactly
something
it's
today,
exactly like
see?
winning. You're so right. Yes, gosh, we're lucky to have met such an intellectual as yourself.
Well, I am a detective in my spare time, but that's now my story arc. Well, I'm here for a couple of friends and we're always looking around for things to do. But, if we would be happy to join you guys, maybe. I haven't asked them or anything like that. Or maybe, I'll be happy to go check it out too. I'm always down for adventure and such and bravery and things. How do you find it? I'm happy to trade you knowledge.
I genuinely doubt you would have anything we need. No offense.
No, that is fair. I don't read many books, but that's okay. I heard you guys say something about a fox.
Yes, well that's the secret. Finding the library, we can't do it. But if you can find the knowledge-seeking foxes, you can follow them back to the library. And we have a pretty good lead on one of the trails they take through the desert. Some of the sandbenders have seen a number of them taking the same tracks day after day. So we're going to go and wait by those tracks and follow them to the library.
Knowledge-seeking foxes. Have you tried hunting the foxes with knowledge? Or just a fox hunt, like a fox hunts chickens.
We don't. No, we're not going to. We don't want to hurt the foxes. The foxes
No, but you could track them.
Yes, that's what
With
we're going to do.
knowledge.
That's with
Exactly.
knowledge.
Yes.
How would
Brilliant.
It's
Well, you
been
offer the
lovely
foxes
speaking
something
to
they
you.
don't know.
I'm
I'm
so
really
tired.
tired. I think I'm also dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just exhausted. It's been lovely
Pleasure meeting
chatting
you
to
guys. Yes.
Yes. Good night.
Yes. God, good night. Yes. I'm just gonna
Stop
stay over
packing up
here
their
and listen
things.
to you guys while you sleep.
No.
Now I've got 2 ears. You guys got 1 mouth each. You figure it out.
Jesus. What?
You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen to more than you speak.
That's just what the fuck.
Well, guys, I learned we need to find
But
foxes.
that's not what you said. What you said was, I've got 2 ears and you've got 1 mouth each, which is a lot creepier. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, sure. They look. There's like this moment where they're like eyes are wide and they're looking backwards towards each other, like, do you know what? It's such a lovely night. I wouldn't mind sleeping on the roof. Yes, that sounds lovely. Yes, sleep under the stars. That sounds great. Yes, I think we should head up to the roof and have a good night's sleep under the stars. Yes, that sounds lovely, Lee. Let's head out right now and take all of our things with us. Goodbye. As they walk out the door, you hear the sounds of earth bending, and then the sounds of footsteps on the roof.
Guys, I think I've made some good friends tonight. I think we might be going on a journey with them. I think they trust us. Anyway, if you see a fox, let me know. I need to teach it something.
Burning bridges. I'm burning all the bridges. Burning bridges.
Burning. Detective Rung is on the case.
Like defective rung, am I right? So, it's good. I just thought of that. That's good. Another t-shirt. Defective Detective is the name of our episode for tonight, I think. So, my question is, Oki and Al, while that shit show is going on, did you want to interject before they leave or anything like that? Or are you happy just to let them?
Not before they leave. I think Rung's too far gone on that one.
You can't
but,
intercept that. That's too late. The damage is done.
I'm an early riser. I sing you up breakfast.
You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. And you gotta fold 'em, son.
I'm pretty sure that's our key sitting on that table, right? Which means that Mako and Shurva don't have a way to get back in. Should we go let them in or make them sleep outside?
Al doesn't hear a single thing. He came inside, sat on the bed. He thought it was too soft, but he just fell asleep. And you see him in like fetal position, big spooning his like staff. So he's KO'd. He's had a long day.
Do you hear them scratching at the door?
No. Not yet.
They probably don't be let in yet. Oh, what? You hear that? I think I heard scratching at the door.
When Shurva and Mako are ready to come back, you hear a knock at the door, and the door is unlocked, and it opens because none of you locked the door.
Oh,
It's.
I just
fun
turned to
messing
Mako.
with
I'm
you
like,
guys.
yeah, see, I knew we could get in. I wasn't worried.
Glad
As
it's
if I
all
was
worked
put us
out.
in that kind of situation. Like,
Yep. There was no existential panic while I mentioned that, was there?
So easy to mess with. And with that, you can all have a long rest. So, you are currently in what I would describe as quite comfortable, accommodation. So, let me quickly pull open my thing on sleeping because I don't remember where it is. Sorry, I just screamed with the microphone for everyone.
Food conditions and fatigue. Yeah.
Yeah, a night's rest in a comfortable space like an actual house with a mat underneath you and blanket cover clears 5 fatigue. There you go.
Oh. What? Can I
Brings
trade
you
that
back
into
from that.
one condition?
No, you will need to have another NP. You will need to clear the condition
That's
yourself.
fine.
But luckily, conditions are easy to clear. Remember, If you wanted to clear afraid, you could run away from danger or difficulty. If you were angry, you could break something important or put others in danger. If you were foolish, you could take a foolhardy action without talking to your companions. Were you feeling foolish, Mako?
Yes, I am.
Well, you can clear that because wandering the city streets at night without talking to Shurva is absolutely a foolhardy action. So you can clear that. You have done that already. If you're feeling guilty, you can make a personal sacrifice to absolve your guilt. If you're insecure, you can offer aid or support to someone incompetent. Competent, sorry, someone competent. You guys, it's someone incompetent. It's different, but yeah.
Need to go sacrifice something soon.
Sacrifice something soon. Yeah, you need to go sacrifice. Anyone who is feeling insecure, they have sacrificed Pong, so you can. Now we should quickly do while you guys do your rest, because we're going to be doing the Guardian features at each rest. Not every session, because every session is going to be very frustrating for you guys to do. We're going to do each rest. You may do your Guardian questions, so we'll go through them together. So Rung and Shurva, you guys are both playing the Guardian feature, which means that you need to ask these questions of your wards. So for both of you, let's have a quick look. So, do you believe that your ward listens to you more often than not? Rung and Shurva. Mako's nodding.
Partners,
absolutely, Mako does not listen to you.
I mean,
I would say more often than not. I would say more often he listens to you, but it's so slight at this point. Have you recently protected them or helped them with a problem? Both of you, the answer would be yes.
Yes.
Is there an immediate threat to your ward that you are aware of? At this point, no. You're not in any immediate danger.
Stroke.
Not immediate danger.
Not
Carl
an
is an
immediate
immediate
danger.
threat to himself, so yes.
I'm also a threat to myself. Don't worry about
The
it.
greatest threat to Aal is Aal. There is no immediate threat right now. And that's what helps you have this really good night's rest, is the fact that you are, for the first time, safe. Quite safe. You are feeling safe and secure. You are feeling rested. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. We'll tell you what. We'll do a little bit of the morning, and then we will wrap up the session around about sort of 9:15ish, 10:15ish for you guys, and then we'll jump into more of our desert adventures next time. So as you awaken the next morning and head down to breakfast, you can see that Tal has opened up the shop, and he is serving out fresh fruit, as well as some sausages, some bacon, and some eggs for those of you who aren't vegetarian. For the vegetarians, he has actually prepared. Dave, are you familiar with okonomiyaki?
Yep.
He's essentially prepared like an earth-bending okonomiyaki. So it's lots of cabbage that has been cut up and prepared with egg. Because you're vegetarian, not vegan, right? Is egg okay?
That's a good question. If it's unfertilized egg, then
It's unfertilized egg. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just realizing that are the airbenders in Avatar Last Airbender, are they vegans or vegetarians? I think they're vegetarians.
Oh well,
not
it
vegans.
depends which nomad tribe and which temple you're at. So
Does it actually?
no.
Oh, okay.
We don't paint them with a broad brush.
This
I was
is now law.
I don't remember that. Maybe it does. Yeah. I don't think it's compulsory. I think it's like something that's encouraged, but it's not compulsory. They don't enforce it physically. That seems very un-airbender to like physically make people be vegetarian.
So canon is I drink milk and I eat eggs.
Okay, cool. So okonomiyaki is prepared for you, basically an earthbending okonomiyaki. But yeah, and the rest of you sausage, bacon, eggs. If any of you look at that okonomiyaki and go, yeah, we want that, he will make more and serve it up as well. It's like a cabbage pancake, essentially.
I'll ask for a second one.
Yeah, he serves it up and
Balto
goes.
definitely wants some.
Yeah, it's really nice. As you sort of nibble at it and enjoy it, it's got a little bit of spice to it, not too hot, but a little bit of a kick. And the sort of the soft cabbage combined with the egg, holding it all together, is really, really nice. And there's these great umami as you enjoy the flavors of the okonomiyaki. And yeah, your breakfast is prepared. The two Earth Nation, or Earth Kingdom scholars or students come downstairs and join for breakfast as well, sitting as far away from Rung as they possibly can at the table. They like look where Rung is and sit at the opposite end of the table, avoiding eye contact with him.
Must be tired. Got a big journey a day ahead of them of knowledge sharing and learnings. Keep an eye on them guys. I'm just watching them, just eating, I'm eating like the bacon and eggs on it, but I've also got like the cabbage pancake, just stuffing my face with like pancake and looking at them.
You've got two mouths. I've got one mouth.
I'd like to be aware of my if I was going to be doing anything, I'd be like aware of my surroundings while I was like eating that, just like listening.
Do you want to assess the situation for me then?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a situation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But while he's doing that, I tend to Oki and go, what actually happened?
I wasn't paying a lot of attention. Rung was just trying to be friendly, and it just came off as really creepy. Like, really creepy.
That makes sense.
Oh,
12 Rung. Rung is just like head on a swivel looking around, really creepy as his head just rotates while he's eating.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. For the YouTube and stream watchers, apologies for that horrifying sight. For podcast listeners, don't worry, you're better off not seeing. So consider yourself blessed that I'm not even going to describe what I just did. Yeah. So Rung, as you're looking around, you can ask me 2 questions. I have to answer them honestly. What would you like to know?
Okay. Do I hear any more pertinent information about the library or foxes from those guys? And okay, cool. And do I see any new faces within the tavern?
No. No new faces in the tavern. As you look around, it seems that this place is only open for breakfast for those who are staying there in the night. It looks like he does this as a special favor. It's not open for business in the morning. This is just him preparing a breakfast for people who stay as part of his service. But it doesn't look like he opens up until probably the late afternoon, early evening. You get the sense that if you had been older, potentially you might have been offered alcoholic drinks now that you're sort of like getting the vibe of this place. But as he looked over you guys, he judged you all a bit young, so didn't offer you the alcoholic menu. What was your first question? Fox? Yeah. Definitely mentions foxes and Wan Shitong's library. Yeah, they are still in discussion about how best to reach their location. They're still trying to locate where they're going to try and intercept this trail. They know the trail leads between 2 large dunes. However, the conversation is more about how they're going to locate these dunes because the dunes in the desert shift and move. And they know that they've only, on average, a dune will stay in one location for maybe 3 or 4 days, and then after that, they're gone. They have moved onwards, and so the same location geographically, the landmarks change in the desert. It makes it very hard to navigate. That's why that giant lodestone in the center is so vital for transportation and movement throughout the desert, because it gives you this central point that you can always locate. But yeah, they're basically discussing and trying to figure out where they're going to intercept the knowledge-seeking foxes, these desert foxes, on their way to Wan Shitong's library.
Good. I'd like to sort of share that for the table of people, like everyone at the table, just to, like, sort of share that through. I'm eating my food, still listening in on those sort of guys. I'm like, yeah, they're on the way. They're going to go through the desert, and there's a fox they're going to follow, but the fox can go anywhere at any point. And the stone is important. The stone never moves, but everything else moves. Yes. Write this down, Al.
Al's like looking around for pen and paper.
I like how I put
But
it.
Ron,
remember it.
I don't have any coal.
Yeah, he looks
write
at
with.
coal and he doesn't realize he can write with coal.
Like,
See, no one knows.
I put my utensils down as I lose my hunger from seeing like the food just spray out of Rung's mouth as he's like a madman like talking.
It's barely coherent.
The rambles
Like the
of a
old man.
madman.
The okonomiyaki was in Al's hand, and he's like carrying it in his mouth and holding it in his mouth, looking for the pens.
As it starts to like
We need a
bits
pencil.
of the cabbage begin to fall out because it's not that well held together.
Need a pencil case.
Yeah, Tile sort of heads over and sort of crouches down next to these two students or scholars and goes, right, so here's my advice. Sandbender guide is a must. Neither of you two are earthbenders, right? They sort of shake their heads and goes, yeah, you're gonna need someone to sail a sand ship. Walking on the desert is just suicide. Who got you here? You've got someone who helped you out get here? And they go, well, he said he had to head back in towards the southern end of the desert. We're not sure when he's going to be back in the Oasis. We were hoping to meet with him last night, but he hasn't come in. Yes, we were really hoping that we could locate someone who has a sand ship that we could travel on. Then we'd be able to head deeper into the desert safely. Yeah, well, look, your best bet's going to be to head around the edge of town, see if there's anyone free who's willing to take you there. But just be warned, can be a bit expensive, and make sure you trust the person who you're going with. Someone who seems reasonable, trustworthy, because you're trusting your life to this person. They're taking you deep into the desert. You want to make sure you feel safe. I can come around with you. I've got to get some groceries this morning anyway, so I can come have a bit of a look. If there's any friendly faces I recognise amongst the sandbenders, I'll give them a shout and call them over and see if anyone's free, but you might be stuck here for a couple of days while you wait for your sandbender to return. But by that point, the foxes will have gone. Yeah, use your
Oh, getting that boat ready today, it's going to be really hard, guys. Oh, man, that sand boat we've got.
Oh yeah, what are we gonna name our sandboat?
Yeah, remember we got, the Never Can Ever. Ever.
The never can ever.
Never ever.
Yeah, we tied it up all right.
They're never going to give it up and ever.
Buses. Goes 10 parsecs at the speed of light or something like that. Buses.
Never going to let you down us. Yeah, they're never going to give you up us. Yeah.
Anyway, what we're talking about, guys. Back to talking pipe.
Al didn't hear a single thing that the other table said. He's just really excited to name the ship.
Yeah. It's a genuine discussion. I do want you guys.
I think
What
we
are you
should
gonna name
name
the
it
ship?
the Unsinkable 2.
The Unsinkable 2, nice.
SS Unsinkable Never Can Ever.
Never can ever sink.
Scimitar.
Yes.
Did you say the Swimitar Shurva?
The Swimitar.
The quenchiest.
The quenchiest.
Oh no.
In memory of the man who
I'm down
gave
for
it
all
to
of
us.
these.
These are all great.
I think. Do you want to let the audience vote then?
They can choose. Choose it
Alright.
for us.
All right. The audience can choose. I'll put a poll up and we'll see what they go for.
Never can ever sink. Quench.
The quenchiest.
Quenchiest.
So what are the options? The quenchiest.
Used to mouth.
Used to mouth. Oh no. I'm vetoing that.
Oh no, it's an option. It's an option. We say we got options there.
The never. What was it? Sorry, the never can never is what you're calling it. Not the Nebuchadnezzar. Never can never sink.
No, did not pronunciate it right. No, pronunciate.
Never can never sink. So we've got the quenchiest, the
I'm
never
usually
can never
good at
sink.
English, I swear.
What was the other suggestion? There was
You're
another one
great
that I
at
quite liked.
pronunciating
The
things.
Swimitar, that's it.
The Scimitar, yep.
Were there any other suggestions for our vote?
No, those three are like
Those three. That's pretty good.
they're the chef's kiss.
There you go. Polls up. Feel free to vote. I think the poll's up. Let me know if you can see it.
It's up.
Perfect. Please feel free to vote.
Who do I vote for?
Oh my god. I was gonna say, can we try and maintain an air of decency with this when I saw the ears to mouth, but the last time I said that, the team called the airship an air of decency because it was an airship. So I've learnt my lesson and I keep my mouth shut now.
That's a good name. That's a good name, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a fun session. All right, so we'll keep going and then we'll see the results of that poll at the end. In 5 minutes, I've put a time limit on it. So, oh god, yeah. So as you guys are very obviously and quite loudly discussing your sand ship, they sort of turn and look at you guys and go, "You have a sand ship?"
Finest
Well,
one on the sand.
It's fastest.
It's,
Ask anyone around.
it's a sand vessel. I'll call it that. Yep.
No, ship.
How many
I wouldn't
does
call
it
it a
seat?
sand vessel. That sounds like we're gonna be like transporting sand.
True. It's something that can move across the sand.
It's a people vessel.
No,
Yes.
it's something that can move across the sand.
It's
I
technically a people
didn't know you
vessel.
lot had your own sand sailor.
We got it recently.
How many
I
does
have
it
not
seat?
seen it yet.
That's a very good question. How many?
After we bested the sandworm, out in the plains of
Was it s-
sand.
Was it 7 or 8?
You can comfortably seat 6 people. You can uncomfortably seat 7 or 8. You cannot seat more than that.
Okay.
So we could comfortably seat
6.
all of us and perhaps one of you. Choose.
Choose
Yeah,
wisely.
but no, we
It's-
have to. This is a journey together. We're doing it together, or not at all.
Do
No,
you
no,
have
good-
your own supplies and rations?
Yes, we have everything we need for the journey. We're set. Don't wait. We can carry our own weight.
Do you have a map?
We have several maps of the area. Yes.
A compass?
Yes, we have a compass. Yes, and she pulls out of her back a compass.
A
Yes,
weapon.
I They
Those are
look
the
at each
only
other.
requirements on the ship, Wiz. We all have them, but everyone must have them themselves to be safe. For redundancies, of course, for sandworms and vulture bees.
Vulture bees.
Uh,
Tal leans over and goes, buzzard hornets.
Buzzard hornets, exactly right. As all good sand captains
It's
understand.
too, it's too far south for vulture bees, mate. It's not the time of year.
Oh god.
They're hunted for their nectar. There's none left.
No.
Oh no!
Vulture nectar. No.
Oh god, you
Oh,
guys took that
God.
weirdly. They're bees. Come on. Yeah. So there's this. Look over. And go, yeah. Where are you headed? Could we? Are you headed? You headed north?
Yes.
With the grip, yes.
Because
Yeah.
north is the giant metal, like where they.
Yeah.
Finance,
Northeast
right? Yeah,
is the lodestone.
North is
Okay.
also Ba Sing Se.
Oki was
Northwest
north,
is
right?
Ba Sing
Was
Se.
north, yes. The water told you it was north as well when you did your water readings. Looks at you knowingly, in confidence.
I'd like you to roll trick an NPC, please, Rung.
So
Who?
Is
Me or
Oki
Oki?
helping him
Wrong.
or-
No. Oki's expression, your expression, Ali tells me Oki was not helping Rung with that because it took you as long as it took me to figure out what he was doing and what he was talking about. We were both like, the fuck is this Joker? Oh, I get it now.
So go here. Yep.
So yeah,
submit.
roll to trick an NPC. 3.
Oh no.
Wasted that 12. Or did I?
I think we might see if we can find someone around town, maybe, and see if anyone can take us out. No offense, you just look very young and very creepy.
As they look at Rung.
Find the water reading
He's-
thing was not real. You got me.
he's just trying his best.
That's what worries us. That's his
Yeah,
best.
it worries me too. Don't worry.
Captain, my captain.
No, stop. You can stop this now, please. We'll be happy to
Bloody
take you out there. Just give us some time to grab our own stuff.
Looks like the Quenchiest is the name of our vessel.
Holy shit!
It was decisive. I'm proud.
That's a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Quench it. I saw what you did.
Someone spent a lot of channel points to vote for that.
Yes.
The quenchiest.
The Quenchiest.
The
Yes, our
quenchiest
sound
will ride
check.
at dawn.
The Quenchiest.
We will be. Are we happy to take them there? Is that where we want to go? I'd refer to the group.
Yeah.
Say we
yeah,
do
yeah,
find
yeah.
the library, and we have some knowledge of use to the dude that wants knowledge. We could ask
One-cheater.
them how we. One-cheater. We could ask them how we can fix everything that's currently
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, that's
Fix what Mako
my.
did.
Mako, I had an idea, and like she's just trying to roll over this. She's like, no, we need him. She wants to go.
I just shrink down like 10 sizes.
Everything changed when Mako ordered the Fire Nation to attack. Today I would like to genocide them. That's not what happened. That's not what happens. That's not what happens.
Just rule under one banner.
Yeah,
One
Mm.
ring to rule.
rule them all.
One ring
Just
to bind
unify everyone, like
Yeah,
just one
Yeah.
one unified
nothing bad has ever happened
Country.
in any history.
Yeah,
or, like,
almost
TV
under some sort
shows.
of Reich.
Animation.
What's the
Oh.
one nation dude? Big fat dude.
Clive Palmer.
Paul Blart. Oh, Paul Palmer. That's right.
Paul Blart. Nice. That's good. That's good. Paul Blart, strangely, I have more respect for him than I have for Clive Palmer, so it's good. That's
Same,
good.
same.
Yeah, these two, they sort of stand up and walk over and go, "Hi, I'm me, and I'm Lee. Pleasure to meet you.
Sorry, you're who?
Me, Lee.
Yeah, you.
You.
Yes, me.
Fucking
I, me. And I'm Lee, L-I.
What's your name?
You monster.
Shurva, stop. Shurva, stop, please. Stop. And DM, you should have seen this coming.
Oh, no, I knew. No, I knew what she was going to do. But I had to commit to what the characters would say, so... Rather than just punching you in the face and walking out, which is what I would like them to have done. But unfortunately, that's not in line with these characters.
I stand up and say, I'm Mako, pleasure to meet you. Put my hand out for like a handshake.
Yeah, they shake your hand.
I'm gonna be right back as I just leave, like what the fuck's happening?
Shurva watches Mako walks out again without talking to you.
Not just hands over my head, just like, what the hell am I doing?
I'll follow him out to make sure he's okay.
Rung's like, and I'm Rung. Good to meet you. It's like,
Hi,
I may be allowed to handle that first, but I'll be the one to steer the ship. You have the notes and the knowledge.
Oh, great. Excellent.
Anytime. Good to meet you as well. I'm excited.
Yes, we are too, Rung.
Okay. Good. Try to be a safe trip, as long as you hold on tight. I'm gonna go walk off.
It's so weird. Are we sure you want to travel with these people? I'm not so sure this is a good idea. I don't think we have a choice. We've only got 24 hours or so until the trail moves. Sacrifices have to be made for knowledge, and we knew that we were going to have to make some sacrifices along the way, and I know this is a pretty significant one, but yes, we'll just have to spend time with that person. Hi, Air Nomad and Water Tribe. Hi. Me and Lee.
Hello, I'm Oki. I have the displeasure to be traveling with this ragtag group of adventurers.
Yes. How did you get stuck with them?
It's a long story. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to tell it when we're on our way to the library.
As long as you can minimize the amount of talking he does. Yes, that sounds good.
Oh god.
Over the distance, you just hear like rambling. Blankets! We're going to need blankets!
Oh, God.
Hi, Lee and me. I'm me too. But you can call me Al.
That's crazy. You've got the same... Oh, Al. You don't have the same name as me?
No, but I'm me.
This is becoming very
we've never
Taoist.
heard this joke before, have we?
Joke?
No, not used to
Al
it.
is 100%
Never.
sincere. Anyway,
The
we'll
name of
see
your-
you guys at the boat. It's
What's
a
it
ship.
called?
Sorry. Oh yeah, it's the quenchiest.
The name
Yep,
of your boat
it's
is
SS
the Quenchiest.
I haven't seen it yet either. I'm really
I'm having
excited.
second thoughts. Tal,
I am really excited.
Tal, are you sure there's no sandbenders here that we could travel with? Mate, look, I'll take a peek, but unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I think this might be your best option.
Last boat out
By
of Cocoa
comparison.
Hub and the desert's almost gone.
I would like to use straight shooter, which is one of my
Yes. Yeah.
When you tell an NPC the blunt, honest truth about what you really think of them and their
Oh
plans,
boy.
roll with
Yep.
focus.
Please roll with focus.
Okay. Should I say what I'm going to say first, or should I just?
Yes,
roll
please.
first?
Yes.
Okay. Look, so I haven't really been paying attention. I was really dehydrated and out of it yesterday when we came in from the desert. But like I told, it's a pretty dangerous library to go to, and you two don't look like you would hold your own in danger. We battled. Oh, I watched the others battle an earthworm, a worm of the earth, or some sort of large worm moving through the earth yesterday, and they bested that.
They bested a worm,
and-
so you best watch out.
For all I know, there was no one taken by that worm.
Makes it so much more suspicious.
So
roll me
and,
straight shooter, Dave.
Holy shit! Holy
be-
shit!
They've had to save people around for
I
best
try
one
to-
on this one's died
I
around
try to
them.
give you guys lots of little story hooks for you to investigate, things you might be interested in, but it's really hard when you start setting that shit on fire. And just 9.
The point is, you guys will be safer with a bunch of vendors and someone who can do really cool things with a whip.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, they return and give you an honest assessment of the situation. Yeah, look,
Oh no.
that's all very well, but he's really creepy. You don't seem very bright. She's scary, points to Shurva. He seems damaged, like something is really like spinning in his mind. And to be frank, you seem actually normal, Oki. You seem fine. I genuinely, I'm worried about you with these people. I think your best move is to leave them. You come with us. Leave these people. For people watching the stream and watching the YouTube, at that exact moment, Ali's camera crapped out on the stream. As they said, I think you should leave. I'll just refresh your camera, Ali.
Oh my god!
The reason I lost
That
is
was awesome.
because
Brilliant.
The timing was amazing. Your camera just was like, nah, not working. And so it literally looks like you just
Best
left.
thing
You should leave
I'll
them.
Just refresh your camera. I really think you should leave them and come with us. That way, we will have someone who can protect us. You will be with people who won't drive you insane, and everything will be okay.
There is one very important thing that you have
Can't
left
hear you.
I
I can hear Ellie talking in the other room. Oh, can you guys hear
Ali?
like as I'm still leaving, like if I'm
Oh, okay,
still in the
cool.
room as they
Sorry.
say that, I go, "Crazy people don't know they're crazy." As I walk out.
And on that note, we're going to end for tonight and pick this up again next session as they sort of like leave this bar to sort of consider their options about what they're going to do. Like, are they going to go with you guys? And they walk out and
They-
leave. Oh, yes.
Oh,
I want to hear what
I was
Oki
going to
wanted
ask
to say.
one last thing.
Yes.
I absolutely would do that, with the exception is that we are getting nowhere without a sandbender. Unfortunately, that's not me.
Yeah.
You hear more
Yeah.
like crazy bantering in the distance.
Yeah.
Undecipherable.
It's a very good point you raised there, Oki. Yeah. Okay. We'll meet you at
Do your
the
best.
quenchiest.
Yep, you know where the quenchiest is.
We don't, but we'll find it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Get your provisions. I'm going to try and see if I can get some of these guys into slightly more desert appropriate clothing.
Yep. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. This'll be fine. It'll be fun. What's the worst that could happen? It could
Don't
be
say
any
that.
worse than last time.
Tal's like,
And you guys
the
survived.
worst. Oh, mate, I can take you through. Do you want alphabetical or chronological?
Probability to happen.
Sand alligators, buzzard wasps. No, you just no.
Do you want to come too, Tal?
No, absolutely not. I have zero interest in traveling the desert. I would rather stay at the cultural hub of the desert.
Cultural hub.
Cultural hub.
And on that note,
Hub of the desert.
that's where we're going to end. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for those of you who've joined us on this Tuesday night, which is different to our normal Monday. We are now doing Tuesday nights for our Avatar The Last Airbender stream, so we will see you on Tuesday nights now. So this means you'll have back-to-back Lost Archives RPG. Avatar RPG on a Tuesday, D&D on a Wednesday. How good is that? And then you have to wait 7 days for more of your fix. But that's okay, because it keeps you wanting more. Then you come back for more. And then we get to do more. So that was that's the cycle of viewership, I'm sure. Thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you guys had a fun session. That was not what I was expecting at the Misty Palms Oasis. I was like, I'm going to put out some like fun little mysteries, put out some little stories, see what they want to do. What they wanted to do was pour kerosene and light a few matches. So we're going to see how that plays out next session. Everybody, stay safe, stay well. We will see you all again next time. Farewell.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Farewell.
We're sorry.
Oh boy.